Chapter 770. However, Lu Yuan still shook his head after thinking about it carefully. No matter how capable Lin Xie was, how could she resolve the knot in Zhu Zhuyun's heart in a single day? It was impossible. With Zhu Zhuyun's jealousy towards Zhu Zhuqing and her resentment towards him, how could it be so easily resolved? She probably wanted to eat his flesh and drink his blood. After all, he was the one who crippled Davis, and caused her to lose the position of crown princess. It was normal for her to hate him. After all, Zhu Zhuyun didn't hide her hatred towards him yesterday. Zhu Junlin was afraid of offending him, and even slapped Zhu Zhuyun twice. Lu Yuan had seen it with his own eyes. Could it be that Zhu Zhuyun had lost her power, and had no one to rely on? Could it be that she was frightened by Long Xiaoyao and the others, and thus hid her hatred, and didn't dare to cause trouble in front of them? If he thought about it from this perspective, it was possible. Lu Yuan thought to himself. It wasn't that Lu Yuan thought too badly of Zhu Zhuyun, or that he had to speculate about her maliciously. It was just that Zhu Zhuyun's actions didn't make sense. Only Lu Yuan's conjecture made sense. Looking at Zhu Zhuyun, who was sincerely apologizing to Zhu Zhuqing, Lu Yuan's eyes flashed. Regardless of whether Zhu Zhuyun was sincerely admitting her mistake this time, or if she was just hiding her resentment, he still had to teach her a lesson. It didn't matter if she hid her hatred, or if she cursed him in her heart. After all, many people cursed him in the world. At the very least, many people from the Clear Sky sect and the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon sect were cursing him. He didn't care about such things. What he was worried about was that Zhu Zhuyun would pretend to apologize and get close to Zhu Zhuqing to take revenge. This was something that Lu Yuan couldn't allow. If she really did that, there would only be one outcome: death. No one would be able to save her. Lin Xie wasn't simple either. Did she really just want the two of them to get along? Was there no other scheme? For Zhu Zhuyun to be like this, other than the possibility that she was deliberately hiding her resentment, what exactly did Lin Xie say to her that she was willing to apologize so sincerely today? Lu Yuan still couldn't figure it out in his heart, but it didn't matter. If he couldn't figure it out, he would personally ask later. Zhuqing, everything is my fault. I've wronged you. Now that I know I was wrong, can you forgive me? Zhu Zhuyun's face was filled with remorse as she looked at Zhu Zhuqing with teary eyes. That's right, Zhuqing. Zhu Yun already knows that she was wrong and regrets what she did back then. Just forgive her. Lin Xie also advised from the side. Oh Buqi. Zhu Zhuqing looked at Lu Yuan. Do whatever you want. Don't worry about me. No matter what you choose, I will support you and protect you. I won't let anyone have the chance to hurt you. Lu Yuan couldn't help but emphasize the word hurt. He glanced at Zhu Zhuyun and his double pupils were filled with coldness. That gaze filled with a fierce aura caused Zhu Zhuyun's delicate body to involuntarily tremble as her pupils shrank slightly. Hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help but smile. She understood Lu Yuan's meaning very well. She knew that Lu Yuan was doubting the authenticity of Zhu Zhuyun's apology. In fact, even she had some doubts in her heart. After all, Zhu Zhuyun's repentance came too quickly and it was difficult for her to completely believe it. Although she was kind-hearted, she wasn't stupid. She could still see these things. However, she was still prepared to accept Zhu Zhuyun's apology. No matter what Zhu Zhuyun did, Zhu Zhuqing didn't want her mother to be sad. After all, this was her mother's kind intentions. Sister, get up. I don't blame you anymore. Zhu Zhuqing held on to Zhu Zhuyun's arm and gently helped her up as she spoke softly. Thank you, Zhuqing. There was a trace of gratitude on Zhu Zhuyun's face. All right, you sisters have finally reconciled. In the future, you must love each other and not kill each other like before. Seeing Zhu Zhuqing accept Zhu Zhuyun's apology, Lin Xie spoke softly with a thick smile on her face. I will get along well with Zhuqing, mother. Zhu Zhuyun said softly. I will too, mother, Zhu Zhuqing said. Good, good. Hearing their words, Lin Xie was very happy. She gently stroked their heads. Her two daughters were willing to get along well with each other. She was really happy in her heart. In Zhu Zhuqing's room, Lin Xie and Zhu Zhuyun stayed for a while before they both bid farewell. The entire room was once again left with only Lu Yuan and Zhu Zhuqing. "Zhuqing, I'm going out for a while," Lu Yuan said warmly as he drank a mouthful of tea. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing was silent for a while before she said softly, "Go easy on her later. Don't go overboard." Hearing Zhu Zhuqing's words, Lu Yuan's hand that was holding the teacup paused for a moment. Then, he said with a smile, "Looks like you're not stupid. I thought you were really deceived. You're the stupid one. I just don't want Mother to be sad. I feel that big sister is deliberately trying to get close to me. I just don't know what she's thinking." Zhu Zhuqing said. "You'll know when you ask her yourself. Alright, wait here for a while. I'll be back soon." With that, Lu Yuan put down the teacup and stood up. "Obuchi, go easy on her." Zhu Zhuqing was a little worried as she reminded him again. She understood Lu Yuan's character too well. Zhu Zhuyun wanted to get close to him with strange thoughts. For her safety, Zhu Zhuqing was afraid that he would really be too heavy-handed. "Don't worry, I won't kill anyone," Lu Yuan said in a low voice. The golden dragon's shadow appeared under his feet. Lu Yuan's figure flashed and disappeared in an instant. After Lu Yuan disappeared, Ma Xiaotao's figure suddenly appeared in the room. Lu Yuan didn't feel at ease about the Duke's mansion. Since he was gone, Ma Xiaotao would protect Zhu Zhuqing to prevent any accidents from happening. Even if it was Lin Xie, after today's events, Lu Yuan's heart was a little wary. He felt that this woman's intentions were a little impure. Although she didn't have any malicious intentions, her way of doing things made Lu Yuan somewhat dislike her. Zhu Zhuyun's matter was definitely related to her. A golden light flashed and Lu Yuan's figure rushed in the Duke's mansion. Following Lin Xie and Zhu Zhuyun's footsteps, Lu Yuan quickly caught up. "Did I make it?" Looking at Lin Xie and Zhu Zhuyun, who were walking slowly in front of him, Lu Yuan's figure flashed and hid to the side. Chapter 771. Lin Xie and Zhu Zhuyun spoke softly as they walked, and Lin Xie could vaguely hear their voices. "We're too far away, so I can't hear them clearly." Lu Yuan frowned as he listened to their words. In order to prevent himself from being discovered, he had landed a little further back. Even with his spiritual sense, he couldn't hear what they were talking about. "I'll have to rely on you," Lu Yuan muttered softly. A light flashed in his hand, and the vast sea cosmic shroud appeared in Lu Yuan's hand. It spun in his palm and emitted a beautiful blue light. Lu Yuan injected his soul power into it, and the vast sea cosmic shroud lit up. A transparent blue light enveloped Lu Yuan, and Lu Yuan disappeared from where he was. The vast sea protective shroud had the ability to become invisible. It could hide one's aura and other people's senses. With this, Lu Yuan could follow them at a close distance without being discovered. After casting the Immensity Sea Shield, Lu Yuan's figure immediately caught up with them. "Yu Yun, are you sure you want to do this?" Lin Xie asked softly as she looked at Zhu Zhuyun. The path they were walking on was very quiet, and there wasn't a single person around. Therefore, they didn't have much scruples when they spoke. "Mother, do you think this isn't good? I'm trying to bring the Zhu family and the Dragon King Hall closer together." Zhu Zhuyun smiled. "But you're trying to get close to Lu Yuan through Zhuqing. When Zhuqing finds out about everything, she'll hate you even more. I don't want to see the two of you turn against each other again." Lin Xie sighed softly. "That won't happen. You know Zhuqing's personality. She listens to you the most. As long as you explain things to her, she'll feel at ease in the end. Furthermore, I'm doing this for the good of the Zhu family. Zhuqing alone might not be able to tie down Lu Yuan. If I help her, we'll definitely be able to tie the Dragon King Hall and the Zhu family together. This will be very beneficial to the Zhu family. Don't you want to see the day when the Netherworld family becomes stronger?" Also, haven't you always hoped that Zhu Qing and I can help each other? We are sisters. If we become Lu Yuan's women, won't we be even closer? Now that Whis is crippled, I need to find someone to rely on. I'm a weak woman, and I don't have much of a presence in the Netherworld family. Yesterday, my father slapped me twice because I'm worthless. If I don't find a chance to prove my worth, then will there still be a place for me in the Duke's mansion? Can Mother bear to see me suffer alone for the rest of my life? Zhu Zhuyun asked Lin Xie. Lin Xie was at a loss for words. No matter what, Zhu Zhuyun was still her daughter. She could not bear to see Zhu Zhuyun suffer for the rest of her life. Moreover, Zhu Zhuyun's words were not necessarily unreasonable. If she and Zhu Zhuqing became Lu Yuan's women, then the Dragon King Palace and the Zhu family would be bound together. When the time came, as long as she tried to persuade Zhu Zhuqing, it would not be too difficult for the two sisters to live in harmony. Moreover, based on her observation of Lu Yuan over the past few days, she found that he doted on his women very much. If Zhu Zhuyun really became Lu Yuan's woman, she would not have to worry about her being bullied. Zhu Zhuyun would also be able to find her own happiness. Thinking about it, this suggestion did not seem too bad. How about it? Mother, you think that my idea is not bad, right? As long as I become Lu Yuan's woman, not only will I have a new backer, it will also be greatly beneficial to our Zhu family. Also, if Zhu Qing and I want to live in harmony, this is the only way. Lu Yuan has crippled Davis and destroyed my backer. Unless he compensates me with a new one, I will not let this matter rest. Mother, I have already listened to you and apologized today. Therefore, you have to help me in this matter. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that I won't inadvertently reveal our conversation to Zhu Qing or Lu Yuan. I can't care so much about what will happen then. Zhu Zhuyun said faintly with a hint of threat in her tone. You. Hearing Zhu Zhuyun's words, Lin Xie could not help but feel anxious. This rebellious daughter actually dared to threaten her. You are really far inferior to Zhu Qing, Lin Xie said angrily. So be it. I'm indeed not as innocent and obedient as Zhu Qing. I'm a very selfish person. However, Mother, no matter what, I'm still your daughter. Whether it's for public or private reasons, you have to help me, said Zhu Zhuyun. Humph. Lin Xie snorted. Her chest rose and fell slightly. After a while, she recovered. How do you want me to help you? Don't forget that Lu Yuan's attitude towards you is not good, Lin Xie said. It is precisely because his attitude towards me is not good that I need your help. In this family, his attitude towards you is better. He even calls you aunt. When you are free, you can talk to him more about me and try to change his impression of me. Of course, I will also visit Zhu Qing often. I will be a good sister. With your help, Lu Yuan will soon have a new positive impression of me. Zhu Zhuyun said. Even if he has a new impression, do you really think you can win over Lu Yuan? He is the Lord of Dragon King Palace. He is not an ordinary person. Lin Xie said. It's good that he is not an ordinary person. If he were an ordinary person, I would not like him. The more difficult it is to conquer, the more interested I am. Even if he is not ordinary, he is still a man. Which man doesn't cheat? Look at your daughter's figure and looks. If I were to lean on him, I don't believe that he would be able to hold himself back. Even if he could hold himself back for a while, as time passes, he would still be subdued by me. My skills in certain areas are much better than Zhu Qing's. Zhu Qing is too cold. She doesn't know how to please a man at all. Even so, she can still charm Lu Yuan. If it were me, wouldn't it be easier? Zhu Zhuyun said with a confident face. Zhu Qing is keeping herself clean. It is the reserved nature of a good girl. You are licentious. How dare you look down on Zhu Qing? Lin Xie said sarcastically. I'm slutty, Mother. You have to have a conscience when you speak. I've never been touched by any man other than Davis. How am I slutty? I'm just bold and hot. Besides, how can a woman please a man if she's not bold? Zhu Zhuyun curled her lips and said disapprovingly. Chapter 772. Mother, don't you think what I said makes a lot of sense? Zhu Zhuyun asked. Nonsense. Hearing Zhu Zhuyun's words, Lin Xie secretly spat and said. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuyun was not angry. She smiled and said, Mother, no matter what you say, it is a fact that your daughter is very charming. Mother, you don't have to worry about me wooing Lu Yuan in the future. However, I still need your help to change Lu Yuan's attitude in the beginning. Mother, you have to help me put in a good word. Don't forget what you promised me. If I go crazy, Mother and the rest of you won't have a good time. Hearing Zhu Zhuyun's words, Lin Xie's expression changed. She sighed slightly and said, Mother will do these things well. As for the rest, I don't care. But I warn you, regardless of whether you succeed in the end, you have to get along well with Zhu Qing. You can't have any bad thoughts about her. Lin Xie said sternly. Of course. As long as Mother is willing to help me, I will naturally not make things difficult for Zhu Qing. Zhu Zhuyun smiled. Remember what you said. Lin Xie warned Zhu Zhuyun again and said, It's getting late. Let's part ways here. Mother, take care. Zhu Zhuyun said with a smile. Lin Xie walked away. The smile on Zhu Zhuyun's face slowly disappeared. A look of resentment appeared in her beautiful eyes. Zhu Qing, it's all because of you that Davis was crippled by Lu Yuan. Aren't you very happy? Since your man crippled the man that originally belonged to me, then I will now snatch your man away. I want to see what kind of expression you will have when the time comes. I will let you have a taste of the pain of having the man you love taken away. You think you are worthy of being the wife of the Dragon King Palace's lord? Only I am qualified to sit in this position. Since I can't be the Empress of the Xianra Empire, being the wife of the Dragon King Palace's lord is also a good choice. As for Lu Yuan, no matter how extraordinary he is still just a man. I don't believe that he can escape from my grasp with my method. Zhu Zhuyun sneered and couldn't help but clench her fists, as if she wanted to hold something tightly in her hands. Really? I don't know where you get your confidence from. Just as Zhu Zhuyun thought to herself, as if she could see the scene of that day, a faint voice suddenly sounded, causing her delicate body to tremble. Her delicate body trembled slightly. She turned her head and saw that 3 meters away from her, a white figure suddenly appeared. His left hand was behind his back, and in his right hand was a gorgeous blue triangular cone that was gently rotating. A soft blue light was being emitted from it. His expression was calm as he looked in her direction with a hint of coldness in his eyes. Lu Yuan. Seeing this figure, Zhu Zhuyun's face suddenly turned pale as if blood had drained from her face. Her forehead was dripping with cold sweat and her back was tingling with a chill. She was so frightened that her soul almost left her body. You heard everything just now? Zhu Zhuyun's voice was trembling. Why? Are you scared now? Don't worry, I just came here not long ago. I just happened to hear everything that you and your mother said. What a pair of mother and daughter, teaming up to trick Zhu Qing. I thought that Lin Xie loved Zhu Qing very much, but now it seems that she's just SOSO. And you sure have a lot of thoughts. If I didn't listen to the whole thing, I wouldn't have known that you had so many ideas. Playing me in the palm of your hand? Zhu Zhuyun, you're really something. Lu Yuan raised his right hand, and the vast sea cosmic shroud spun before shrinking and disappearing into his brow. At the same time, he appeared in front of Zhu Zhuyun as if he had teleported. His aura rose and pressed down on Zhu Zhuyun. Lu Yuan's fighting strength was comparable to a transcendent Douluo's, and his aura was extremely violent. Even if he only revealed a small portion of his aura, it was enough to make Zhu Zhuyun suffer. Under this pressure, Zhu Zhuyun's pretty face turned red. She gritted her teeth, and her expression was a little ferocious. Her delicate body was on the verge of collapse. Lu Yuan's aura was too forceful and oppressive, and she was a little out of breath. Seeing this, Lu Yuan couldn't help but sneer. His aura rose by 30% again. Plop! His aura suddenly increased, and Zhu Zhuyun immediately knelt on the ground with a putong sound. Her jade-like hands supported herself on the ground to prevent her body from falling. However, this pressure was too frightening. Even though she had used all her strength, and the veins on her arms were popping out, it was still useless. Under this pressure, her body was still pressed down, and she was about to crawl on the ground. At this moment, Lu Yuan suddenly withdrew the pressure from his body, and the terrifying pressure that was like a tidal wave dissipated. Zhu Zhuyun couldn't help but sit on the ground. Her chest rose and fell violently, like a drowning person who had just come out of the water. Lu Yuan reached out his right hand and grabbed Zhu Zhuyun's neck. He lifted her up. Zhu Zhuyun hurriedly stood up and grabbed Lu Yuan's arm. She looked at Lu Yuan with her big eyes, and there was a pleading look in her eyes. You can't even withstand 30% of my aura. Where did you get the guts to scheme against me and Zhu Qing? Lu Yuan said coldly as he looked at Zhu Zhuyun. I cough. Zhu Zhuyun wanted to speak, but her neck was tightly gripped by Lu Yuan. She couldn't speak at all. Seeing this, Lu Yuan raised his eyebrows. He loosened his grip, but his right hand was still gripping her neck. Cough, 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 cough. Suddenly being able to breathe, Zhu Zhuyun couldn't help but cough loudly. After a while, she finally slowly came back to her senses. Looking at the cold Lu Yuan in front of her, Zhu Zhuyun's expression changed slightly. She gritted her teeth and made up her mind. No matter how she quibbled now, it was useless. After all, Lu Yuan had discovered her plan. No matter how much she said, it was impossible to win Lu Yuan's trust. Moreover, this man had followed her in secret. He probably didn't believe her words from beginning to end. Since she was going to die anyway, she might as well go all out. She didn't believe that Lu Yuan would really dare to kill her here. If he killed her, Lu Yuan and Lin Xie would definitely fall out, and the marriage would definitely be blocked. Moreover, she was confident in herself. Lu Yuan couldn't bear to kill her. Chapter 773. Zhu Zhuyun's mind turned slightly. She stared straight at Lu Yuan and her jade-like hands began to gently stroke Lu Yuan's arm. What are you doing? Feeling the touch on his arm, Lu Yuan furrowed his brows and yelled. Hall Master Lu, do you think I'm beautiful? Zhu Zhuyun winked at Lu Yuan with a seductive look in her eyes. So far from Zhu Qing, Lu Yuan said indifferently. Nonsense, I'm clearly 50% similar to Zhu Qing. We obviously look similar. Zhu Qing might be a little more delicate than me, but I'm more mature than Zhu Qing. Zhu Zhuyun said coquettishly. Hearing this, Lu Yuan's eyes were indifferent and he did not say anything. Hall Master Lu, do you think my figure is good? Isn't she more mature and charming than Zhu Qing? Zhu Zhuyun asked softly again. What are you trying to say? Lu Yuan rolled his eyes and asked sternly. Nothing, I just want to have a heart-to-heart talk with Hall Master Lu. Hall Master Lu, can you let go of me? I can't breathe from your grip. Since you're so strong, I can't run away even if I wanted to. My neck feels more comfortable. You can't bear to let go, Hall Master Lu? Zhu Zhuyun said coquettishly. Don't flatter yourself. I don't even have the interest to look at you, Lu Yuan said coldly and moved his right hand away. Hee, I knew that Palace Master Lu is a man who has tender feelings for women. Palace Master Lu, look. Zhu Zhuyun twirled in a circle in front of Lu Yuan, fully revealing her figure. What do you think, Hall Master Lu? I'm not bad, right? Zhu Zhuyun asked. What trick are you trying to play? If you want to seduce me, then forget it. I won't fall for it. Lu Yuan's eyes were cold as he said indifferently. I don't believe you. I want to seduce you. I don't believe you won't be moved. Hall Master Lu, how about I become your woman with Zhu Qing? Beautiful sisters, it's very exciting. Zhu Zhuyun approached Lu Yuan, her tone carrying a hint of ambiguity. Ugh! Suddenly, Zhu Zhuyun could not help but let out a muffled groan. Her neck was once again tightly gripped by Lu Yuan. Do you really think that I have a good temper? That's why I let you act so presumptuously in front of me? Or do you really think that I won't kill you? Looking at Zhu Zhuyun, Lu Yuan's eyes carried a trace of coldness. You won't kill me. You can't bear to kill me, Zhu Zhuyun said softly as she held Lu Yuan's wrists with both hands and looked straight at Lu Yuan. Where did you get your confidence from? You actually think that I wouldn't bear to kill you? Hearing Zhu Zhuyun's words, Lu Yuan could not help but find it funny. There were several people in this world that he could not bear to hurt, but Zhu Zhuyun was definitely not one of them. Of course I have confidence. My appearance and figure are the best in the entire continent. I don't believe that you would bear to kill a delicate beauty like me. Don't try to hide it. You can't fool me. Don't be fooled by your cold appearance, you're a lecherous man deep down. I don't believe that you don't desire my body, Zhu Zhuyun said with a face full of confidence. I am indeed a lecherous man. There aren't many men in this world who aren't lecherous. But I'm sorry, I have many girlfriends, and each of them is a heavenly beauty. I really can't take a fancy to someone like you. Furthermore, you've been touched by Davis countless times. Do you think I would be interested? Lu Yuan curled his lips slightly, his expression carrying a trace of disdain. You think I'm dirty? Zhu Zhuyun's expression turned ugly. Do you think you're very clean? Lu Yuan asked with a smile. I've always been clean. Other than my fiancé, Davis, I've never been touched by any man. What right do you have to say that I'm dirty? Zhu Zhuyun retorted agitatedly. I'm not talking about how dirty you are. I'm talking about your heart. You know very well how Zhu Qing treats you. She forgave you for your previous actions and magnanimously forgave you. Yet, you still want to take revenge on her. Your conscience has really been eaten by a dog, Lu Yuan said indifferently with a trace of disgust in his expression. So what if I'm taking revenge on her? I just want to take revenge on her. If it weren't for her, why would you have crippled Davis, and why would I have lost the position of crown princess? Aren't you just standing up for her? And didn't you take a fancy to my beauty? Now you don't dare to admit it, hypocritical man. Zhu Zhuyun said disdainfully. I took a fancy to your beauty? Hearing Zhu Zhuyun's words, Lu Yuan was so angry that he laughed. How did Zhu Zhuyun know that he had taken a fancy to her beauty? What, are you still trying to quibble? That day in the arena you crippled Davis, but you let me go. If you didn't covet my beauty, you would have crippled me and Davis together. Why would you show mercy to me? Zhu Zhuyun questioned. TSK, I thought it was something else. So it was this incident that gave you an illusion. Do you know why I showed mercy to you that time? It's not because you're beautiful. To tell you the truth, it's because before the arena, Zhu Qing begged me to spare you once for her sake. Otherwise, you would have been crippled together with Davis. Do you think you're an exception? The appearance and figure that you're so proud of are nothing in front of me. I've seen many women who are more beautiful than you. Your beauty really doesn't catch my eye. Hearing Zhu Zhuyun's words, Lu Yuan couldn't help but find it funny. So it was because he had shown mercy in the arena that gave her the illusion that he would take a fancy to her. How interesting. No, that's impossible. How could Zhu Qing plead for me? You were clearly the one who coveted my beauty. How could Zhu Qing be so kind? That's impossible. After Lu Yuan finished speaking, Zhu Zhuyun's face was full of disbelief as she shouted excitedly. However, this is the truth. When you wholeheartedly wanted to kill her, she still took the initiative to persuade me to show mercy to you. Zhu Zhuyun, if you really have the slightest bit of conscience, you should think of her good. Without her, you would have long been a piece of trash. I won't tell Zhu Qing about what happened today. Just take it that I'm giving you a chance to turn over a new leaf on account that you're also a pitiful person who was persecuted by the so-called ancestral law. Zhu Qing is all alone and has never experienced any kinship since she was young. She needs a good mother and a good sister to care for and protect her. You have no one to rely on now and have nowhere to stand in the Duke's mansion. As long as you can let Zhu Qing experience the care of a sister and make her smile, you will be under the protection of the Dragon King Palace in the future. You won't be persecuted by anyone. Chapter 774. However, if you still hold a grudge against Zhu Qing and plot against her, you'll only end up dead. Furthermore, I won't let you die a happy death. As Lu Yuan spoke, he grabbed Zhu Xuyin's neck and lifted her into the air. As her feet left the ground, Zhu Xuyin's hands immediately grabbed onto Lu Yuan's arm tightly. Her legs flailed as she struggled with all her might. However, how strong was Lu Yuan? How could Zhu Xuyun break free from his grip? Not long after, Zhu Xuyun's face was flushed red and her eyes turned white. This was because she could not breathe and was about to suffocate. Thump! Lu Yuan released his right hand and Zhu Xuyun's body fell to the ground with a loud thud. She took in deep breaths and coughed violently. She had almost suffocated to death just now. This man was really ruthless. Zhu Xuyun's eyes were filled with fear as she looked at Lu Yuan. At this moment, she believed that this man really did not covet her beauty at all. He would really kill her. Remember this feeling of approaching death. If you still dare to have any bad thoughts about Zhu Qing, your fate will be 100 times more miserable than today. Lu Yuan spoke softly. He reached out with his right hand and grabbed an emerald green pill. He opened Zhu Xuyin's mouth with one hand and forced the pill into her mouth. The pill melted in her mouth and entered Zhu Xuyin's body in an instant. What did you feed me? Zhu Xuyin's heart was filled with fear as a strange pill was suddenly stuffed into her mouth. Based on this man's ruthlessness, he must have fed her something bad. Jade Water Spirit Perishing Pill, one of the most poisonous pills in the world. It's refined from the Jade Water Spirit Soundgrass and the Perishing Heart Bone Corroding Lotus in addition to the dual poisons of ice and fire. When the poison takes effect, the blood will surge and the blood vessels will explode. At the same time, all the bones in the body will turn into yellow water. Furthermore, don't think about finding a poison expert to cure you. This poison is my exclusive secret and no one in the world can cure it. If you find someone to cure you and the method is wrong, it will cause the poison to take effect earlier and even more violently. When that happens, you'll die an even more painful death. Lu Yuan said indifferently. Why are you doing this to me? Hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Xuyun felt her hands and feet turn cold. Lu Yuan actually fed her such a terrifying poison. At that moment, she could no longer hold back the emotions in her heart. All the grievances surged madly into her heart. She shouted hysterically at Lu Yuan. Because I'm worried about you. I'm worried that you won't change and want to harm Zhu Qing. I can't stay by Zhu Qing's side all the time, so I can only feed you a Jade Water Spirit pill. Only then can I be at ease. This is the only way you won't dare to play any tricks. As long as you have the slightest bad intention, this poison will instantly take your life. Furthermore, even if I were to leave, as long as I return and discover that Zhu Qing has suffered even the slightest injury, I will immediately activate the poison and send you to your death. Thus, it is best that you take good care of Zhu Qing. As long as Zhu Qing is fine, you will be fine. Thus, it is best that you take good care of her. Don't let anything happen to her. You also don't have to worry about the poison acting up prematurely. As long as I don't activate it, nothing will happen for 10 or 100 years. Lu Yuan said indifferently. Is Zhu Qing that good? You're so considerate of her. Hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Xuyun's jealousy for Zhu Qing deepened once again. At least she's much better than you. If it were you and Zhu Qing wanted to kill you, and you saw that Zhu Qing was about to be crippled, would you plead for her? Lu Yuan asked. No. Zhu Xuyun shook her head and said. But Zhu Qing did so. She pleaded for you. This is the difference between you and her. She is kind and pure, while you are selfish and only greedy for power. Such a pure and kind Zhu Qing. Is there anything wrong with me being nice to her and thinking of her? Lu Yuan asked. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuyun fell silent and did not answer. Looking at the silent Zhu Zhuyun, Lu Yuan sighed softly and said, 5 years. I'll give you 5 years. As long as you can get along well with Zhu Qing in these 5 years and let her enjoy more familial love and warmth, I'll help you get rid of the poison in your body. Moreover, don't you like power? I can guarantee you that as long as you treat Zhu Qing well and get along well with her, I'll give you everything you want in the future. Are you serious? Hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Zhuyun's eyes lit up and she asked. I never lie, but the premise is that you really treat Zhu Qing well and let her feel the beauty of family love, Lu Yuan said. All right, then it's decided. I'll do my part as an elder sister. Isn't it just taking care of my younger sister? It's simple. However, is the protection you mentioned true? Zhu Zhuyun asked. Of course. I'll explain this to Zhu Junlin tomorrow. I believe that with my words, not only will he not dare to do anything to you, he'll even worship you. Lu Yuan said indifferently. That's true. Given my father's guts, if you speak, he won't dare to say a word, Zhu Zhuyun said with a smile. It's good that you know. Then it's settled, Lu Yuan said. It's settled then. Zhu Zhuyun nodded and said. Then, her eyes turned and her gaze shifted slightly, sizing up Lu Yuan's body. The corner of her mouth curled into a strange smile. Why are you looking at me so strangely? Lu Yuan frowned and asked indifferently when he saw Zhu Zhuyun's strange gaze. Hee, I realize that you're really quite handsome. No wonder Zhu Qing is head over heels for you. Even I find it hard to control my heart when I look at you. Why don't you reconsider my suggestion just now? I can be with Zhu Qing, okay? Zhu Zhuyun said with a smile. You still haven't given up on your evil intentions? Lu Yuan's expression was a little ugly. Hey, don't be angry. Okay, I don't need you to take responsibility. My figure is really good. Do you want to try it with me? Scram. Hearing this, Lu Yuan rolled his eyes and spat out a single word. Aya, don't be shy. Or are you worried that Zhu Qing will find out? Don't worry, if you and I don't say anything, Zhu Qing won't find out, Zhu Zhuyun said with a smile. She suddenly realized that it was quite fun to tease Lu Yuan like this. Moreover, Lu Yuan had treated her like that just now, so she had to get back at him. However, how could Lu Yuan be so easily dealt with by her? Hearing Zhu Zhuyun's words, Lu Yuan raised his right hand and formed a hand seal. He said, This hand seal is used to activate the poison. As long as I circulate my soul force, the poison in your body will immediately explode. So, are you going to scram or not? Scram, I'll scram right now. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuyun's expression changed. She broke into a run and disappeared in an instant. She was very afraid of the poison that Lu Yuan had fed her. Hearing that Lu Yuan was going to activate the poison, some of the strange thoughts in her heart disappeared without a trace. She didn't dare to cause trouble in front of Lu Yuan anymore. Chapter 775. Seeing Zhu Zhuyun run away in fear, Lu Yuan dispersed the seal and smiled. You still dare to play tricks with me. Do you really think I can't deal with you? He could see through Zhu Zhuyun's little scheme at a glance. How could it be so easy for her to get back her face in his hands? Not to mention, he still had the Jade Water Spirit Pill in his hand. Now that I have the Jade Water Spirit Pill, I can completely control Zhu Zhuyun. Today's deal should be able to appease her. This woman is too jealous and too greedy for power. I can only use poison and force to threaten her for a while, but as time goes by, it is inevitable that she will have other thoughts. It is safer to use the temptation of power. At most, after unifying the continent, I will give her a fief. It is a small matter. Sigh, it is a pity that this woman is Zhu Qing's sister and her experience is indeed a bit pitiful. Otherwise, it would be best to kill such a person as soon as possible. I wouldn't have to think so much and deliberately use methods to control her. Zhu Qing, for you, I have really put in a lot of effort. Lu Yuan sighed softly and his figure instantly disappeared. In Zhu Qing's room, Lu Yuan's figure appeared. Seeing Lu Yuan appear, Ma Xiaotao, who had been waiting, nodded to Lu Yuan and then hid in the dark again. You're back? What did you find out? What does my sister want? Zhu Qing looked at Lu Yuan and asked softly. Well, I found out some things. Your sister wants to do something to me. Lu Yuan sat on the chair, poured a cup of tea, and said faintly. Do something to you? What do you mean? Does she want to take revenge on you? Hearing this, Zhu Qing couldn't help but frown. That's not it. I mean that she wants to do something to you. Lu Yuan's eyes flashed. He told Zhu Zhuyun some of her plans, but concealed the fact that she wanted to take revenge on Zhu Qing. After all, if she didn't say anything, Zhu Qing would definitely be suspicious. Hiding it was also for Zhu Qing's good. If Zhu Qing knew that Zhu Zhuyun wanted to take revenge on her, the relationship between the two sisters would be completely broken. Lu Yuan still intended to let her experience the care of an elder sister. Zhu Qing's eyes flickered as she asked in a cold tone, So you're saying that my sister wants to get close to you because she lost Davis to seek new support and protection? Yes, that's right. Lu Yuan nodded gently. Hearing Lu Yuan's affirmation, Zhu Qing's face suddenly turned cold, and a trace of sternness appeared in her eyes. What a good Zhu Zhuyun! I'll let bygones be bygones and forgive her, but she actually has designs on my man. You can't have agreed to her, right? Suddenly, Zhu Qing seemed to have thought of something. Her cold eyes looked at Lu Yuan. Hey, kitten, what are you thinking? How could I agree to such a request? Of course I rejected it sternly, Lu Yuan said righteously. Really? Zhu Qing's eyes had a trace of suspicion. Of course it's true, Lu Yuan said. I don't believe it. My sister has such a good figure and looks. How could a pervert like you not be tempted? And you really don't have any bad thoughts in your heart? For example, me and my sister together? Zhu Qing's eyes were filled with a cold light, which made Lu Yuan's arms have goosebumps. Of course not. Don't you know how high my standards are? Do you think your sister will be interested in you? And you know how many girlfriends I have now. If I have another one, won't you guys explode on the spot? Lu Yuan said snappily. That's true. My sister has been touched by Davis so many times. You shouldn't be interested. Hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Qing somewhat believed him. Then how did you deal with my sister in the end? Zhu Qing asked. It would have been best to kill her, but considering you, I gave up the idea. I promised her that from now on, His Highness the Dragon King will be responsible for protecting her. In exchange, she will live in harmony with you and fulfill her obligations and responsibilities as a sister. Lu Yuan said softly. That's it? It's that simple? Zhu Qing asked with some surprise. It's that simple. With your sister's current status, how much more can she ask for? She should be satisfied with having us protect her. Lu Yuan said. That's true. Zhu Qing murmured softly. Thinking of Zhu Junlin slapping Zhu Zhuyun twice, coupled with Lu Yuan's explanation, she believed 80 to 90% of this matter. With light steps, Zhu Qing walked to the door and closed it. Then, she drew the curtains on the window and hugged Lu Yuan. Hey, Zhu Qing, what are you trying to do by closing the doors and windows so tightly in broad daylight? Looking at Zhu Qing's actions, Lu Yuan had a strange guess in his heart. Nothing. I want to feed you and make your mind purer, so that you won't let your imagination run wild and come up with ideas that you shouldn't have. With that, Zhu Qing stood on tiptoe and pressed her lips forward, blocking Lu Yuan's lips. Be asterisk starred, Zhu Junlin, how dare you? In the imperial study, Dai Tianfeng slammed the letter in his hand on the desk. His dignified face was full of anger, and his tiger eyes were burning with anger. Why is your majesty so angry? Could it be that the Duke of Netherworld has done something excessive? Seeing Dai Tianfeng so angry, a middle-aged man beside him asked with some doubt. This middle-aged man was the marshal of the 3 armies of the Xianra Empire, Lin Yuanjing. Today, he was summoned into the imperial study by Dai Tianfeng to discuss some matters, but he didn't expect to see this scene. Excessive? It is indeed excessive. This Zhu Junlin actually dared to unilaterally tear up the marriage contract between Mu Bai and Zhu Zhuqing. He even said that he felt like old friends at first sight with the Dragon King Palace Lord and wanted to betroth Zhu Zhuqing to the Dragon King Palace Lord Lu Yuan. You also know this Lu Yuan. He is the one who crippled Whis and harmed Mu Bai. Zhu Junlin actually broke the marriage contract and married him. This is completely disregarding our Star Luo imperial family. This is a provocation to our Star Luo imperial family. Dai Tianfeng gnashed his teeth as he spoke. His expression was ferocious, and it was obvious that he was extremely angry in his heart. The Star Luo imperial family was not the Heaven Dou imperial family. As the Star Luo emperor, Dai Tianfeng had always been a man of his word, and no one dared to provoke him. Now that Zhu Junlin had unilaterally broken off the marriage contract, this was a public provocation to the dignity of the imperial family. How could Dai Tianfeng not be angry? There is such a thing? Hearing Dai Tianfeng's words, Lin Yuanjing asked with some surprise. He was really surprised. With Zhu Junlin's character, was he the kind of person who dared to take the initiative to break off the marriage contract? Chapter 776. After being an official for so many years, Lin Yuanjing was very clear about what kind of person Zhu Junlin was. Zhu Junlin wasn't weak. He was a rank 85 soul Douluo. Although he wasn't as strong as Lin Yuanjing, he was still considered an expert. However, Zhu Junlin was cold and indecisive. He was ruthless and weak. Simply put, he looked tough on the outside, but he was weak on the inside. How could someone like him dare to break off the engagement with the Star Luo royal family? How could this be fake? The letter clearly states that Zhu Junlin wants to break off the engagement. After all, Mu Bai has been harmed by the martial soul palace. If he wants to break off the engagement, I can agree to his request as long as he discusses it with me. However, what does he mean by breaking off the engagement? Furthermore, he dares to form a marriage alliance with the Dragon King Hall, who has crippled 2 of the heirs of the Star Luo royal family. Does he really think that I can't kill him? Dai Tianfeng slammed the letter on the table and gestured for Lin Yuanjing to open it. Lin Yuanjing didn't stand on ceremony. He was Dai Tianfeng's close official, and had always been trusted. Reading a letter wasn't a big deal. After reading the letter carefully, Lin Yuanjing's expression turned a little heavy. The letter really said that, and it wasn't very tactful. It was clear that Zhu Junlin wanted to break off the engagement. Furthermore, the letter was full of praise for the Dragon King Hall and Lu Yuan. It was no wonder that Dai Tianfeng was so angry. Lin Yuanjing didn't know what Zhu Junlin was thinking. He actually dared to write this. Lin Yuanjing naturally didn't know that Zhu Junlin didn't want to write this. After writing it, he wanted to hand it over to Lu Yuan's subordinate, Long Xiaoyao, to check. If Zhu Junlin didn't praise the Dragon King Hall and Lu Yuan better, he wouldn't be able to send this letter out. It couldn't be helped. Long Xiaoyao's fist was too big. Under Long Xiaoyao's pressure, Zhu Junlin had no choice but to give in. What do you think? Am I right? This Zhu Junlin is really audacious. And that Lu Yuan, he crippled my 2 successors. Does he really think that he can be unscrupulous just because he is the Lord of Dragon King Palace? If he had stayed in the Heaven Dou Empire, I wouldn't have been able to do anything to him. But now that he's come to the Sianra Empire, don't blame me for being merciless. I'll take advantage of this opportunity to avenge Whis and Mu Bai, and kill him here for good. There's also Zhu Junlin. This time, I'll take his life as well. Anyone who dares to offend me will be killed without mercy. Dai Tianfeng said indifferently, his tone carrying a biting cold killing intent. Hearing Dai Tianfeng's words, Lin Yuanjing's expression changed as he hurriedly said, Your Majesty, wait. I have something to say. If you have anything to say, just say it. Dai Tianfeng's attitude towards Lin Yuanjing was still very good. After all, Lin Yuanjing was his right-hand man. Your Majesty, I don't think your way of handling this matter is appropriate, Lin Yuanjing said. What did you say? Dai Tianfeng couldn't help but frown when he heard Lin Yuanjing's words. He was a little displeased, but Lin Yuanjing was his trusted aide after all. He didn't get angry immediately. Instead, he asked, What's wrong? Tell me. Lin Yuanjing acknowledged his words before he said softly, Your Majesty, I think the things in this letter are actually a little suspicious. I'm sure you're aware of Zhu Junlin's character. He doesn't have the guts to do such a thing, and the tone in the letter is also very stiff. What do you mean? What I mean is that Zhu Junlin might have been coerced by someone, and had no choice but to agree to the annulment of the engagement. After all, the Dragon King Palace has several titled Douluo behind them. Such strength is enough to crush the Netherworld family. It's only normal for the Netherworld family to give in to save their lives. Furthermore, the Netherworld family and the Star Luo Imperial family are too close. Even your Empress is from the Netherworld family. Zhu Junlin is also the current leader of the Netherworld family. If you kill him, it will definitely affect the relationship between the Netherworld family and the Star Luo Imperial family. The Star Luo Imperial family's position is so stable now, and the Netherworld White Tiger is inseparable. If you want the Netherworld White Tiger to intimidate the weak and secure the Imperial family's position in every generation, the Netherworld family is indispensable, Your Majesty. Lin Yuanjing said earnestly. You're right. I was too angry just now. Zhu Junlin can't be killed. After hearing Lin Yuanjing's words, Dai Tianfeng slowly calmed down. After all, he was the emperor of an empire, and he was a ruler with achievements. He could still control his emotions. What do you think, Yuanjing? Zhu Junlin might not be killed, but the Netherworld family has to be punished. Furthermore, if I don't kill Lu Yuan and those from the Dragon King Palace, the Star Luo Imperial family will become a laughingstock sooner or later. I can't afford to lose that face. Dai Tianfeng said. We naturally have to deal with the Dragon King Palace. Lu Yuan has directly or indirectly caused the Sianra Empire to lose 2 successors. How can we not take revenge for this? We have to keep him in the Star Luo Empire. Lin Yuanjing said with a serious expression. Yuanjing, I agree with you. Lu Yuan has at least 2 or 3 titled Douluo protecting him. He can come and go like the wind. If we want to keep them here, we can't rely on an ordinary army. Therefore, I'm prepared to mobilize the White Tiger Legion. I'll mobilize 5,000 elite soul masters and 300,000 soldiers. With 2 things at the same time, I don't believe that we can't take down Lu Yuan. So what if he has the protection of titled Douluo? Enough ants can kill an elephant. Although titled Douluo are powerful, they're still humans. Humans will run out of soul power one day. If we can capture them, it's worth it even if we have to sacrifice all 300,000 soldiers. Dai Tianfeng said with a ruthless expression. Since Your Majesty has decided, I'll be in charge of this operation. I guarantee that I'll bring back Lu Yuan's head. Lin Yuanjing said loudly. His tone was full of confidence. All right, with an army god like you taking action, there's no need to worry about capturing them. Dai Tianfeng laughed when he heard Lin Yuanjing's words. Lin Yuanjing was adept at military formations. These soul master legions and soldiers would be able to unleash even more power in his hands. Their hopes of capturing Lu Yuan and the others would be even greater. Yuanjing, go back and gather the soldiers now. I'll gather the White Tiger Legion on my side. At the same time, I'll transfer a few high-level soul masters to you so that you can capture Lu Yuan and the others in one fell swoop. Yes, Your Majesty. I'll go back and prepare then. Lin Yuanjing said. Go. Oh yes, when you capture Lu Yuan and the others, remember to bring Zhu Junlin back too. Even if I can't kill him, I'll teach him a lesson to vent my anger. Dai Tianfeng said. Yes, Your Majesty. Lin Yuanjing acknowledged. After that, he bowed and turned to leave the imperial study. Lu Yuan. Dai Tianfeng muttered as he watched Lin Yuanjing's figure disappear. His tone was very cold. Chapter 777. On the other side, Dai Tianfeng was mobilizing his troops to capture Lu Yuan. On the other hand, Sinuous City was bustling with noise and excitement. The 3-day time limit was up. Today was the day that Lu Yuan and Zhu Zhuqing were officially married. Thanks to Lu Yuan's identity as the Hallmaster of the Dragon King Palace and Zhu Junlin and Lin Xie's invitation, the Duke of Netherworld's mansion was packed with guests today. Just as Lin Xie had said, Dai Tianfeng would only find trouble with Lu Yuan if he wanted to. He wouldn't find trouble with the guests here. Therefore, with the invitation from the two of them and the Dragon King Palace, these people naturally wouldn't refuse. The feud between the Star Luo imperial family and the Dragon King Palace was between the two families. What did it have to do with the guests? Furthermore, even if the Star Luo imperial family wanted to settle the score, they might not be able to do anything to the other party. Did they really think that the titled Douluo were just for show? Because of this, these people weren't worried at all. They were very happy to attend this engagement banquet. Zhu Junlin and Lin Xie were seated in the main hall of the Duke's mansion. Lu Yuan and Zhu Zhuqing were standing in front of them. As it was a marriage ceremony, there had to be some joy. Lu Yuan wasn't wearing a white robe today. Instead, he was wearing a red robe. Zhu Zhuqing was the same. Both of them were dressed in red. As they stood together, they were a handsome man and a beautiful woman. They were really a match made in heaven. Today was only a marriage ceremony. Or rather, an engagement. Therefore, it wasn't as complicated as an official marriage. Moreover, Lu Yuan did not like those complicated formalities. The marriage between the two of them had already omitted a lot of unnecessary things. Hallmaster Lu, I'm officially handing Zhuqing over to you today. I hope you can treat her well in the future. Zhu Junlin looked at Lu Yuan and said seriously. Obuchi, I'm handing my precious daughter over to you today. I hope you can love her and protect her. Don't let her come to any harm. Lin Xie's gentle voice sounded. Her tone was filled with concern for Zhu Zhuqing. I will. I'll do my best to protect and love her. I won't let her suffer. Lu Yuan said seriously. All right. Lin Xie replied softly. She stood up and lifted Zhu Zhuqing's hand, placing it on Lu Yuan's hand. She said, From today onwards, Zhuqing, you are Hall Master Lu's fiancé. In the future, you must serve him well and fulfill your responsibilities as a wife. I wish the two of you love each other and grow old together. Thank you, mother. Zhu Zhuqing's eyes were slightly red, but her charming face was full of smiles. This was the scene she had been dreaming of. Today, she and Lu Yuan finally got married openly, and she even received her mother's blessings. Zhu Zhuqing really felt that she had no regrets in this life. Thank you, Obuchi. In front of everyone, Zhu Zhuqing, who had always been shy, threw herself directly into Lu Yuan's arms. When she was with Lu Yuan, she actually didn't have many desires. As long as Lu Yuan didn't abandon her, it was enough. However, Lu Yuan treated her extremely well. Whenever there was something good, he would immediately think of her. No matter where he went, he would take her with him. Now, for her sake, he was even willing to enter the Xianra Empire alone, all so that she could receive her mother's blessings. Zhu Zhuqing's heart was truly moved and filled with happiness. What are you thanking me for? Isn't this what I should do? And you're already mine. Is there still a need for thanks between us? Lu Yuan said with a smile as he pinched Zhu Zhuqing's cheek. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help but smile. Her smile was very sweet. Seeing Zhu Zhuqing's happy smile, an almost undetectable sigh came from the corner of the main hall. The owner of this sigh was Zhu Zhuqing's sister, Zhu Zhuyun. Her eyes were filled with complex emotions. Zhu Zhuqing was kind-hearted. She didn't fight for anything, but she had obtained everything that ordinary people wanted. Love, status, power. She had everything. But what about her? She had schemed and lusted after power. For this reason, she didn't hesitate to assassinate her own sister many times. In the end, she had nothing. Was she really that much worse than Zhu Zhuqing? No, it was just that she hadn't met such a good man. Looking at the handsome, high-spirited Lu Yuan who was gently hugging Zhu Zhuqing with a doting expression on his face, and then thinking of Davis who had been crippled, Zhu Zhuyun could not help but have a strong sense of envy in her eyes. Zhuqing, you're so lucky. Obuchi, I'm finally your fiancé. It's official. In Zhu Zhuqing's boudoir, Zhu Zhuqing looked at Lu Yuan. Her small face was full of smiles, and even her large eyes couldn't help but curve into crescents. There was no trace of her usual cold appearance. In the past, when Lu Yuan revealed his identity, he would say that she was his fiancée. However, that was without the approval of Zhu Junlin and Lin Xie, so it wasn't official. After today's engagement ceremony, the two of them officially handed Zhu Zhuqing over to Lu Yuan. Now Zhu Zhuqing was truly Lu Yuan's fiancée. In the future, she could confidently pat her chest and tell others that she was Lu Yuan's fiancée. Yes, in the future, I can openly announce to the world that you, Zhu Zhuqing, are my woman. Lu Yuan pinched Zhu Zhuqing's snow-white chin and said with a chuckle, "Are you happy today?" Lu Yuan asked gently. "Very happy. Today is the happiest day of my life," Zhu Zhuqing said without hesitation. "I'm also very happy because after so long, my little kitten finally belongs to me completely, in name and in private," Lu Yuan said. "I really thought that you didn't mind at all, stinky man." Listening to Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Zhuqing's beautiful eyes couldn't help but slightly glance at Lu Yuan. This guy didn't say it on the surface, but in fact, he still cared a little about her previous engagement with Dai Mubai. But it's also true that his woman has an engagement with another man. Even if it's another person, it's inevitable that he would care. It's just human nature. I'm also a layman. I'm not a saint. Lu Yuan spread his hands and said with a smile, no matter how you explain, you can't change the fact that you're a stinky man." Zhu Zhuqing snorted and said, "Yes, I'm a stinky man. But today, this stinky man wants to smell how fragrant you are." As Lu Yuan spoke, he carried Zhu Zhuqing in his arms. Zhu Zhuqing didn't panic. Instead, she looked at Lu Yuan with a smile. "Obuchi." Zhu Zhuqing's pleasant voice sounded. "What's wrong, Zhuqing?" Lu Yuan looked at her tenderly. "Give me a child," Zhu Zhuqing said with a blushing face. "What did you say?" Hearing this, Lu Yuan's body froze and he couldn't help but be stunned. Chapter 778. Obuchi, do you think this move is correct? In the open space outside Zhu Zhuqing's room, Zhu Zhuqing held a long spear in her hand and was practicing one move after another. "There's a problem. Raise your right arm a little and point the spearhead down a little. You have to be steady and powerful. This way, the power of the spear will be greater," Lu Yuan said as he adjusted Zhu Zhuqing's posture. "Obuchi, I feel that your vast ocean spear art is very difficult to practice. I've been practicing for so long and I've only learned the second move," Zhu Zhuqing said softly as she raised the long spear. Is it difficult to practice? I practiced this when I was 4 or 5 years old. I didn't find it difficult at that time. You're so old now. Could it be that you can't even compare to me when I was 4 or 5 years old? Hearing Zhu Zhuqing's words, Lu Yuan said softly, How can I compare to you? Obuchi, do you think I don't have the talent to learn this kind of long weapon? Zhu Zhuqing said dejectedly. What do you mean you don't have the talent? I think you haven't put your heart into it. You've been practicing for 3 hours, and you've been absent-minded for at least 2 hours. Don't keep staring at me. Didn't you see enough last night? You weren't like this in the past. Lu Yuan rolled his eyes and said snappily. How can it be the same? You were just my boyfriend in the past. Now that you're my fiancé, I have to look at you more. Zhu Zhuqing said with a matter-of-fact face. Hearing this, Lu Yuan couldn't help but find it funny. This reason was really invincible. Zhuqing, I realized that ever since the engagement ceremony, you've become much bolder and less shy. In the past, you always looked at me secretly because you were afraid that others would find out. Look at you now. You can't even hide the affection in your eyes. Lu Yuan said. What's there to hide? I want to see what's there to hide from my fiancé. Zhu Zhuqing said. That's true. After all, our identities are different now. Lu Yuan said with a faint smile. Obuchi, I don't want to practice anymore. My arms are a little sore. Zhu Zhuqing said in a tender voice. Yesterday, Zhu Zhuqing had just gotten engaged to Lu Yuan. These 2 days, she wanted to be together with Lu Yuan and enjoy the sweet time together. Yet, Lu Yuan was teaching her how to use the spear. How could she learn? She had worked hard enough and cultivated hard enough. But at this time, she really did not have the mood to cultivate. Forget it, forget it. I see that you don't have any interest in it. If you don't want to practice it, then don't practice it. In a while, I will use my spiritual energy to impart the vast ocean spear art to you and imprint it in your memory. You will be able to learn it faster. Lu Yuan sighed and said helplessly. There was no other way. Since this method was too slow, he could only use a cheat. In any case, he only needed Zhu Zhuqing to familiarize herself with the spear technique. Once she was familiar with it, he would teach her the sea god's divine skill. Originally, he did not expect Zhu Zhuqing to be able to comprehend the spear intent. It was simply unrealistic. Being able to practice the spear technique well was already good enough. I knew that you are the best. Hearing that Lu Yuan allowed her to stop practicing, Zhu Zhuqing was suddenly overjoyed. She put the spear aside and rushed into Lu Yuan's arms. Recently, she had been very clingy. If she was a cold cat before, then these 2 days, she was a well-behaved and clingy cat. You have been particularly cute these 2 days. Lu Yuan hugged Zhu Zhuqing and said with a smile. Do you like it? Zhu Zhuqing asked. Of course I like it. In the past, you rarely acted coquettishly with me. These 2 days, I have seen your coquettish appearance. I have seen a different Zhu Zhuqing. Lu Yuan said softly as he stroked Zhu Zhuqing's long hair. It's good that you like it. Zhu Zhuqing said softly with a smile on her charming face. Suddenly, her expression changed. She touched her belly and asked, Obuchi, when do you think we can have children? Do you want to be a mother so much? Listening to Zhu Zhuqing's words, Lu Yuan was somewhat helpless. Another person who wanted to be a mother. The last one was Chihiro Snow. Of course I want to. Children are the best proof of our love. Saying this, Zhu Zhuqing's eyes could not help but soften. But you are only 14. It's too early. Lu Yuan said. It's not early. My mother had already given birth to my sister when she was 14. Shaking her head, Zhu Zhuqing retorted. Hearing this, Lu Yuan was slightly speechless. In the Douluo continent, it was normal for people to get married and have children at the age of 13 or 14. It was just that he always felt that it was a little strange. Things like having children depend on fate. It can't be rushed. Lu Yuan said. As long as his bloodline did not evolve, he would not have children. Of course, he could not say this to Zhu Zhuqing so as to not dampen her enthusiasm. That's true. Hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Zhuqing nodded obediently. Just as the two of them were hugging and being lovey-dovey, a red light flashed, and Ma Xiaotao's figure suddenly appeared in front of Lu Yuan. Someone had come. Zhu Zhuqing could only squirm out of Lu Yuan's embrace, but her jade-like hand was still wrapped around Lu Yuan's arm. Sister Xiaotao, what's the matter? Lu Yuan looked at Ma Xiaotao and asked. Sect Master Fu sent news that the Star Luo imperial family has made a move. Ma Xiaotao said as she took out a letter and handed it to Lu Yuan. Opening the envelope, Lu Yuan took out the letter and read it carefully. At the side, Zhu Zhuqing could not help but move her little head closer to read it carefully. Looks like what's supposed to come has finally come. Lu Yuan put away the letter and a cold smile appeared on his face. Obuchi, Sect Master Fu's letter said that the Star Luo imperial family has mobilized 300,000 soldiers. This force cannot be underestimated. Zhu Zhuqing's beautiful face became serious. 300,000 soldiers are nothing. What's really important is the 5,000 Soul Master Legions. The White Tiger Legion is the most elite Soul Master Legion in the Xianra Empire, and there are only 8,000 of them. Now that they've sent 5,000 to deal with me, they really think highly of me. A legion of 5,000 Soul Masters is completely different from a legion of 5,000 Soul Masters. The people in the legion know how to cooperate with each other and use battle formations. This 5,000 well-trained Soul Master Legions can defeat Soul Masters several times their number. This is the terrifying part of a legion. Furthermore, the commander of the legion this time is the Grand Marshal of the Star Luo Empire, Lin Yuanzheng. In his hands, this Soul Master Legion will be able to unleash even more strength. Once the White Tiger Legion holds them back, the rest of the army will surround them. Other than Elder Long, even Elder Xian and Sister Xiaotao will find it hard to escape. They will be completely drained of their soul power, and they will be captured in the end. The 300,000 soldiers will be used as cannon fodder to drain Sister Xiaotao's soul power. Dai Tianfeng is probably thinking of taking us down even if he has to sacrifice his 300,000 soul masters. He is indeed a ruthless person. Lu Yuan said plainly. Chapter 779. Obuchi, what should we do? Zhu Zhuqing was a little flustered after hearing Lu Yuan's words. 5,000 elites from the White Tiger Soul Master Legion and 300,000 soldiers were a little terrifying. Zhu Zhuqing was even more worried when Lu Yuan said that even if Little Xian and Ma Xiaotao were held back by the White Tiger Soul Master Legion, it would be difficult for them to break out of the encirclement. What should we do? Of course, we'll fight, Lu Yuan said with a smile. How are we going to fight so many people? Didn't you say that it would be difficult for the others to escape once they're held back by the White Tiger Soul Master Legion? Zhu Zhuqing asked. I've already considered this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have accompanied you to the Star Luo Empire. Have I done anything that I'm not confident in? Lu Yuan asked. No. Zhu Zhuqing shook her head and said. Then how are you going to fight? There are too many people. Ants can bite an elephant to death. Zhu Zhuqing said. No matter how many ants there are, there's still ants. Dai Tianfeng has made enough preparations. 5,000 elites from the White Tiger Soul Master Legion and 300,000 soldiers. Even if 3 or 4 titled Douluo were to attack together, they would only be defeated and captured. However, there are 2 things that he didn't expect. Lu Yuan said. What 2 things? Zhu Zhuqing was a little confused. The first is Elder Long. An ultimate Douluo's strength can no longer be suppressed by numbers. Not to mention a 5,000 Soul Master Legion, even if there were 10,000, Elder Long would be able to destroy them one by one as long as he has enough time. An ultimate Douluo can already control the power of heaven and earth. Although their soul power isn't limitless, it can't be exhausted by a mere Soul Master Legion. A casual attack from them is difficult for ordinary Soul Masters to resist. No matter how many low-level Soul Masters come, they'll just be courting death when faced with such a powerful Soul Master. It's not impossible to exhaust their soul power, but it requires a powerful Soul Master of the same rank. Therefore, we don't have to think too much. As long as Elder Long makes a few rounds, the White Tiger Soul Master Legion will be gone. Lu Yuan said with a smile. Tisk, are ultimate Douluo so terrifying? Zhu Zhuqing was a little shocked. Why else do you think ultimate Douluo are called ultimate Douluo? This is already the highest realm that humans can reach. One more step and you'll be a god. The Xianra Empire probably hasn't come into contact with an ultimate Douluo before, so they don't know how terrifying an ultimate Douluo is. Otherwise, Dai Tianfeng wouldn't have provoked me. An ultimate Douluo and an ordinary titled Douluo can't be compared at all. Lu Yuan said with a faint smile. What's the second thing? Zhu Zhuqing asked. Do you remember what other identities I have besides being the Lord of the Dragon King Palace and the Holy Son of the Martial Soul Palace? What other identities do you have? Zhu Zhuqing was a little puzzled. Besides these two, what other identities does Lu Yuan have? Stupid, I'm also a soul engineer. I know how to create soul tools. This is the second thing that Dai Tianfeng didn't expect. For this matter, I prepared many soul tools when I came to the Xianra Empire. Among them, there's a rather powerful soul tool called the Stationary Soul Cannon. I didn't bring many, only 26 of them. Their grades aren't very high either. 16 of them are Class 6, 10 of them are Class 7, and I only have about 300 soul cannon shells. Lu Yuan said casually. TSK. After hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Zhuqing didn't have much of a reaction. However, Ma Xiaotao couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. There are so many stationary soul cannons. Besides working day and night to create them, little brother must have transferred many from the Dragon King Palace. Little brother, this move of yours is vicious. I'm afraid none of the White Tiger Legion will be able to return. Ma Xiaotao was a little surprised as she said. Of course. Furthermore, I haven't finished speaking. I'm only a Class 7 soul engineer. However, our elder Jing Hongchen is a true Class 9 soul engineer. I heard that he likes to carry Class 9 soul cannons with him. Lu Yuan said plainly. Alright, we can mourn for the White Tiger Legion now. Ma Xiaotao sighed, but her face was full of smiles. Lu Yuan smiled faintly as he looked at Zhu Zhuqing, who was still in a daze. He rubbed her head and said, Soon, I'll put on a grand show for you to see. I'll show you how terrifying soul tools can be when they're used in battle. Son-in-law, I heard that the Star Luo Emperor has Lin Yuanjing as his commander. He has already sent 5,000 elite soul masters from the White Tiger Legion and 300,000 soldiers to attack us. It seems like Sunhua City will be surrounded very soon. Do you have a good plan in mind? In the main hall of the Zhu residence, Zhu Junlin looked at Lu Yuan with a panicked expression. Evidently, he had received some information from his own channels. After all, he was the Grand Duke of the Netherworld, one of the three great families of the Star Luo Empire. He had his own intelligence network. What did you call me? Son-in-law? After hearing Zhu Junlin's words, Lu Yuan couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. I've misspoken. Do you have any plans in mind? Seeing that Lu Yuan wasn't happy, Zhu Junlin hurriedly changed the way he addressed him. I naturally have a plan. I won't let Lin Yuanjing and the White Tiger Legion return alive. You don't have to worry about the specifics. Just wait at home. Don't worry, I won't let your Sunhua City suffer any damage. Lu Yuan said. Yes, yes. As long as Hallmaster Lu has a plan in mind, then it's fine. I'll wait to hear the good news of Hallmaster Lu's triumphant return. After hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Junlin hurriedly said, "It was good that he didn't have to worry. He was afraid that Lu Yuan would mobilize the Netherworld family. One had to know that the Netherworld family didn't have many soul masters. If they lost a batch of them, then he'd be heartbroken." Lu Yuan's words were exactly what he wanted. Furthermore, seeing how confident Lu Yuan was, Zhu Junlin couldn't help but rejoice in his heart. It seemed that he hadn't made the wrong choice. This Lu Yuan had a lot of tricks up his sleeve. He was confident that he could keep Lin Yuanjing and the White Tiger Legion here. Zhu Junlin didn't know what Lu Yuan's trump card was, but he was curious. After sizing up Zhu Junlin for a while, Lu Yuan said, "I'll remember how you address me today. I'll leave it for you for now. However, you don't have the right to call me that right now. When you've fulfilled your duty as a father, then you'll have the right to call me your son-in-law. I know what you're scheming, but I'll say it again. As long as you treat Zhu Qing sincerely, I won't be stingy with giving you some benefit. Also, it's time for your Zhu family's so-called ancestral law to be eliminated. From now on, it's not allowed to exist anymore." Chapter 780. I'm not discussing this with you. I'm informing you that the rule of sisters killing each other has to be abolished from Zhu Qing's generation onwards. Of course, you don't have to abolish it. However, I'll send Elder Long and Elder Xian to reason things out with you. Lu Yuan said plainly. Hall Master Lu, it's not that we don't want to abolish it. However, the Netherworld family has been connected to the Star Luo royal family through marriage for generations. If the Star Luo royal family doesn't agree, we can't do anything about it. Zhu Junlin said helplessly. The Star Luo royal family is nothing. Just listen to me. This time, I'll teach the Star Luo royal family a lesson. I guarantee that they won't dare to cause trouble for you again. Lu Yuan said. Are you serious? If Hall Master Lu can convince the Star Luo royal family not to pursue this matter, the Netherworld family is willing to abolish this rule. Zhu Junlin said. Of course I'm serious. Leave this matter to me. Let's not talk about it anymore. I have to go. Let's deal with that mob first. Lu Yuan grabbed Zhu Zhuqing's hand and walked out as he spoke. Long Xiaoyao and the rest followed behind Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan, wait. Just as Lu Yuan and the rest were about to leave, a female voice sounded behind them. Lu Yuan turned around and saw that it was Zhu Zhuyun. What's the matter? Lu Yuan asked. I want to go with you. I want to see how you deal with the White Tiger Legion and the 300,000 soldiers. Furthermore, didn't you ask me to take good care of Zhu Qing? I can help you take care of Zhu Qing during this battle. Zhu Zhuyun said. Hearing this, Lu Yuan hesitated for a moment and said, Then you can follow me. No matter what Zhu Zhuyun was thinking, it was still a good thing for her to take care of Zhu Zhuqing. Furthermore, he believed that Zhu Zhuyun wouldn't dare to do anything bad now. On the other hand, Zhu Zhuqing looked at Zhu Zhuyun with a scrutinizing gaze. She hadn't forgotten what Lu Yuan had said the other day. Looks like I'll have to keep a close eye on Obuchi, Zhu Zhuqing thought to herself. After exiting the Duke's mansion, Lu Yuan immediately released his martial soul. 6 black, red, and red soul rings sparkled under his body, causing Zhu Zhuyun, who was seeing it for the first time, to be completely dumbfounded. Her mouth was wide open, and her face was filled with shock. She thought she was seeing things, so she rubbed her eyes, but the scene in front of her didn't change at all. For black and 2 red lights still touched her sensitive nerve. Is he still human? Zhu Zhuyun exclaimed in a daze. Lu Yuan naturally couldn't be bothered with what Zhu Zhuyun was thinking. He gently hugged Zhu Zhuqing's waist and flapped the dragon wings on his back. With a loud dragon roar, he flew up into the sky. Behind him, Ma Xiaotao grabbed Zhu Zhuyun and flapped her fiery red wings as she followed closely behind. Long Xiaoyao, Xianzi, and Jing Hongchen also rose into the sky and followed them. After flying for more than half an hour, Lu Yuan and the rest landed on an empty plain 25 kilometers away from Sinue City. The Zither sect had already set up camp here. They had chosen a very good location. It was a tall mountain that overlooked the entire plain. After seeing Lu Yuan and the rest land, Fu Yinheng hurriedly came forward to receive them. "Greetings, Hallmaster." "Greetings, Your Holiness." Fu Yinheng bowed to everyone. "You don't have to be so polite, sect leader Fu. How are your preparations going?" Lu Yuan asked. "Everything has been prepared according to the Hallmaster's instructions. We've already built several dozen fixed locations on this mountaintop that can be used to install stationary soul cannons. We've also buried the remote-controlled explosive soul tools that the Hallmaster has prepared in advance on the plains. We've formed a total of 5 remote-controlled explosive soul tool belts. They are arranged in a square. There are 3 horizontal and 2 vertical. When the time comes, we can directly detonate these explosive soul tools when Lin Yuanjin's army enters the plain. When that happens, these 5 soul tool belts will completely explode. The entire belt will form 5 huge abysses due to the immense force of the explosion. These 5 abysses will completely cut Lin Yuanjin's army of 300,000 and the White Tiger Legion into several segments, causing them to be unable to take care of each other. In this way, Lin Yuanjin's plan of using his army to encircle and exhaust everyone's soul power will completely fail. A rough estimate is that the depth of these chasms is at least 70 to 80 meters, and even the width is no less than 30 meters. An ordinary army would find it difficult to cross such a barrier. With 300,000 soldiers trapped here, it can be said that they have basically lost their ability to fight. Lin Yuanjin can only rely on his White Tiger Corps. As for the White Tiger Legion, we still have dozens of stationary soul cannons waiting for them. Their fate has been sealed from the start. They will be completely wiped out. Fu Yinheng was a little agitated as he spoke. "Thank you, Sect Master Fu. It's been hard on you to lead the Zither sect's disciples to bury the soul tools on the plain," Lu Yuan said gently. "It's not hard at all. It's my duty to help the Hall Master," Fu Yinheng said. After hearing this, Lu Yuan smiled faintly and patted his shoulder. He didn't say anything else. However, he remembered Fu Yinheng's contribution. "I didn't expect you to have already made such appropriate arrangements, Obuchi. In this way, it's not just empty words to wipe out Lin Yuanjin's entire army." Zhu Zhuqing was a little astonished as she listened to Lu Yuan and Fu Yinheng's conversation. She didn't expect Lu Yuan to have already set up an ambush at the place Lin Yuanjin had to pass through. It's not an empty promise. When have I ever made empty promises? If I say that I'll wipe them out, I'll wipe them out. It's just that the Dragon King Hall's soul tool inventory will be completely depleted after this war. I'm afraid we'll have to spend at least 100 million gold soul coins on this war. Soul tools are indeed powerful, but they really burn money. Lu Yuan sighed softly as he spoke. These remote-controlled explosive soul tools, in addition to more than 300 Class 6 and Class 7 soul cannon shells, really cost a lot of money. For example, the soul cannon shells. Without considering the manpower, technology, and so on, just the price of the materials used for a Class 6 soul cannon shell cost more than 10,000 gold soul coins. A Class 7 soul cannon shell cost more than 10,000 gold soul coins. After firing more than 300 of them, just the soul cannon shells alone cost tens of millions. In addition to the 5 remote-controlled explosive soul tool belts, a lot of soul tools had been expended. For these soul tools, Lu Yuan had secretly prepared for more than 3 months. There were more than 2,000 of them. It was important to know that while remote-controlled explosive soul tools were easy to make, and dozens of them could be made in a day, it would still take a long time. Lu Yuan felt like vomiting whenever he saw soul tools. With so many soul tools added together, it wasn't an exaggeration to say that he had spent more than 100 million gold soul coins. Haha, master, it's still worth it to use these gold soul coins to exchange for an elite White Tiger Legion and the position of commander of the Xianra Empire's 3 armies. It's just some soul tools. When I have time, I'll make more for the hall master. Jing Hongchen laughed as he spoke. Chapter 781. Elder Hongchen is right. Spending hundreds of millions of gold soul coins in exchange for such a huge victory is indeed worth it. Furthermore, the Dragon King Hall doesn't lack money right now. After hearing Jing Hongchen's words, Lu Yuan couldn't help but smile. The impact and significance of this battle couldn't be measured with money. If the White Tiger Legion was completely wiped out, it would be a huge blow to the Xianra Empire. The 2 empires didn't have many soul masters to begin with. Dai Tianfeng had probably put in a lot of effort to build the White Tiger Legion. There were only 8,000 people in total. Now that 5,000 of them had been wiped out, it would be a huge blow to him. Oh yes, Elder Hongchen, you're a Class 9 soul engineer. You'll be in charge of the Soul Tool Hall in the future. You can also choose some talented students from the Dragon King Hall and teach them how to create soul tools. Our Soul Tool Hall has to develop eventually. The 2 of us won't be enough. Lu Yuan said. Master is right. Leave these things to me. Jing Hongchen patted his chest and promised Lu Yuan. All right, I'll have to trouble you then, Elder Hongchen. Lu Yuan smiled and said. Next, we'll have to set up these stationary soul cannons. When the time comes, we'll beat them until they're badly battered. Lu Yuan said softly. He took out the stationary soul cannons and set them up in the positions that Negative Inheng and the others had chosen. Beside every stationary soul cannon, there were at least 10 soul cannon shells. Very soon, these stationary soul cannons were set up one by one. The positions that Negative Inheng and the others had chosen were very hidden. There were huge mountains, and they were about 2 to 3 kilometers away. The people on the plains wouldn't be able to discover these stationary soul cannons. This was the benefit of stationary soul cannons. They could fire from very far away, even from several kilometers away. This was something that soul masters couldn't do. When a soul master used an explosive skill, he or she might be able to match a stationary soul cannon of the same class in terms of offensive strength. However, this was only the central point of the skill. In terms of range and distance, a soul master couldn't compare to a stationary soul cannon. This was the strength of a soul tool. Furthermore, there was another terrifying thing about soul tools. As long as there were enough shells, they could fire continuously. However, soul masters would be exhausted after a single outburst. This was the difference between humans and machines. Lu Yuan nodded in satisfaction as he looked at the stationary soul cannon that had been set up. However, Lu Yuan nodded his head in satisfaction. Jing Hongchen stroked his chin and felt that there was still room for improvement. In his eyes, these stationary soul cannons were too low class. Master, I think we can set up a few more Class 8 stationary soul cannons. I have dozens of cannons here, and Class 8 cannons are much more powerful. Furthermore, they can be used to target the enemy's leaders. As for Class 9 cannons, there's no need. They're too precious. I only have a few Class 9 stationary shells with me. Jing Hongchen said. Since Elder Hongchen says so, let's set up a few cannons. Let's blast them to their heart's content today. Lu Yuan laughed as he spoke. Yes, master. After obtaining Lu Yuan's permission, Jing Hongchen started to set up the cannons. He chose the highest point on the mountain and set up 3 Class 8 stationary soul cannons. These are Class 8 stationary soul cannons? They're indeed extraordinary. I'll have to play with them later. Lu Yuan laughed as he spoke. Master, since you're in the mood, that's great. Jing Hongchen laughed as he replied. After hearing this, Lu Yuan laughed. He looked at the sky and his expression turned serious. Disciples who know how to use soul tools prepare a cannon fort in pairs. One person will fill the cannons with shells, while the other will aim and fire. Everyone, be alert. The Xianra Empire's army should be arriving soon. Yes, Hall Master. After hearing Lu Yuan's words, these disciples found their positions and carried out their duties. Those who had nothing to do also hid themselves so that they wouldn't be discovered if they were too exposed. Time slowly passed. Finally, half an hour later, a black army appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The White Tiger Legion was at the front. They advanced in a phalanx of 5,000 people. They were neat and tidy, and exuded an iron-blooded aura. This was an elite Soul Master Legion. Behind the White Tiger Legion was the Xianra Empire's 300,000-strong army. It had to be said that the aura of these 300,000-strong army gathered together was very shocking. As the front was a plain, the 300,000-strong army advanced together. They were spread out, so the formation wasn't very long. It wasn't as terrifying as the legends said. However, the front and back of the formation were separated by several kilometers. Although the formation was long, the plain was also very vast. It was large enough to contain the entire formation. Lin Yuanzhen himself was behind the White Tiger Legion, and in front of the 300,000-strong army. He was the commander-in-chief of the three armies. He had to lead both armies. There were 3 elders beside him. All of them had white hair and beards, and their auras weren't weak. The 3 of them were Soul Douluo. They were the high-level soul masters that Dai Tianfeng had assigned to Lin Yuanzhen. Their soul power wasn't low. They were all above rank 85. If 3 Soul Douluo like them cooperated well, they could resist a titled Douluo who had just become a titled Douluo. For example, Dugu Bo. The plains were very quiet. Other than the occasional sound of the wind, there was not the slightest movement. This caused Lin Yuanzhen, who had an extremely sharp sense of war, to sense that something was wrong. He immediately ordered the army to stop. "What's wrong, Commander-in-Chief?" After receiving Lin Yuanzhen's order to stop, the 3 elders were a little puzzled. They immediately asked Lin Yuanzhen, "I feel that something is wrong. The plain is too quiet. Furthermore, the more we advance, the more fearful I feel. I suspect that there might be an ambush ahead." Lin Yuanzhen's brows were tightly furrowed as he spoke with a serious expression. It had to be said that Lin Yuanzhen's senses were very sensitive. He could sense danger and suspect that there was an ambush. However, it was too late. They had already stepped into the plain. On a mountain 2 to 3 kilometers away from the plain, Lu Yuan had been paying attention to Lin Yuanzhen and the others. Although there was a great distance between them, such a distance was nothing to his dual pupils. After seeing that Lin Yuanzhen and the others had completely entered the plain, Lu Yuan turned around slightly. He nodded at the disciples in charge of detonating the remote-controlled explosive soul tools. After receiving Lu Yuan's order, they immediately pressed the buttons in their hands. Chapter 782. Once the button was pressed, 5 remote-controlled explosive belts exploded. More than 2,000 remote-controlled explosive soul tools exploded at the same time. Instantly, the ground shook and flames shot into the sky. The soil started to crack and the ground started to collapse. Countless broken limbs and remains flew everywhere from such a powerful explosion. Blood splattered everywhere, and some were even blown to pieces. They didn't even have complete corpses. Shrill screams and despairing howls resounded throughout the entire plain. Explosive soul tools only had one use, and that was why their explosions were extremely powerful. These remote-controlled explosive soul tools were all Class 4, and each of them cost 20 to 30,000 gold soul coins on the market. The materials used to make a Class 6 soul cannon shell cost more than 10,000 gold soul coins, and each shell was sold for 50,000 gold soul coins on the market. However, each explosive soul tool cost 20 to 30,000 gold soul coins. At first glance, these explosive soul tools seemed a little expensive. However, that wasn't the case. Just a single Class 6 soul cannon shell was worth 50,000 gold soul coins. If the cannon fort was included, a standard Class 6 stationary soul cannon with 5 Class 6 soul cannon shells would cost at least 1,500,000 gold soul coins per cannon. This was also the cost price. Lu Yuan sold one to Ningfengji for 2,500,000 gold soul coins. A single explosive soul tool wasn't cheaper than an ordinary 10,000-year soul bone. Ordinary organizations couldn't afford more than a few of them. Therefore, it wasn't too expensive to sell these explosive-type soul tools for 20 to 30,000 gold soul coins each. Furthermore, these explosive soul tools had a special characteristic, and that was that their strength could be stacked. If they were buried too close to each other, 2 explosive soul tools would explode at the same time, and their destructive strength would increase again. The 5 explosive belts in front of them had more than 2,000 soul tools buried. Although they weren't close to each other, they weren't very far. This explosion was truly earth-shattering. It was as if a clap of thunder had exploded beside their ears. The Star Luo army, who had never experienced such a battle before, was completely dumbfounded. Even the Grand Marshal of the Star Luo army, Lin Yuanjun, wore a look of shock on her face. Looking at the scene in front of him that was like the wrath of heaven, even his heart couldn't help but tremble a little. Was this the divine punishment of the gods? Marshal, this is bad. Our army suffered heavy casualties in this sudden explosion. We have an army of 300,000. This explosion has killed at least 30 to 40,000 people and wounded 50 to 60,000 people. The worst thing is that our army has been completely cut off. After the explosion, a gentle breeze blew, and the dust that filled the sky gradually dissipated. The entire layer of soil on the plains was broken, forming a total of 5 huge and ferocious abysses. Lin Yuanjun's army was divided into 4 parts. At the very front was Lin Yuanjun and the 5,000 elite soul masters of the White Tiger Legion. Because the White Tiger Legion was made up of soul masters, and because they were further away from the explosion, the casualties weren't too severe. Although the explosion was sudden, there were only a few hundred casualties. Behind them was the abyss. Excluding the 10 to 20,000 soldiers at the back, the remaining 200,000 soldiers were cut off by the 5 huge abysses. They were forcibly surrounded by the 5 abysses. This abyss was 60 to 70 meters deep and 30 meters wide. An ordinary army would not be able to cross it. Such a distance was like a natural moat to them. It could be said that these 200,000 soldiers were basically crippled. Damn it! Lin Yuanjun cursed in his heart and his face turned ashen. He had led an army for so many years, but he had never encountered such a situation. The strength of that explosion was as frightening as a divine punishment. This time, these 300,000 soldiers were all cannon fodder. They were prepared to die in order to deplete the titled Douluo by Lu Yuan's side. However, they hadn't even seen Lu Yuan's shadow yet, but 30 to 40,000 people had died, and 50 to 60,000 were wounded. This army of 300,000 had basically lost a third of their fighting strength. What was worse was that the remaining people were almost all trapped in the 5 abysses. They were basically crippled. Now that the army was cut off, the White Tiger Legion in front of them wanted to capture Lu Yuan, who had at least 2 or 3 titled Douluo protecting him. They were probably doomed. Lin Yuanjun was in a terrible mood. This time, he had really let His Majesty down. Lin Yuanjun blamed himself. Suddenly, a thought flashed in his mind, and a name flashed across his mind. Lu Yuan? Could this explosion have been arranged by Lu Yuan? As soon as this thought appeared, Lin Yuanjun's entire body shook. However, before he could continue thinking, an extremely dense sense of danger rose from the bottom of his heart, causing his hairs to stand on end. At the same time, Lu Yuan revealed a faint smile on his face as he watched the army that had been completely cut off by the 5 huge abysses. The White Tiger Legion, right? An army of 300,000, right? Today, I'll show you how terrifying soul tools are when used in war. Attention, everyone! Aim at the White Tiger Legion at the front and blast them. Lu Yuan pointed at the White Tiger Legion and gave his orders. Yes, Hall Master. After receiving Lu Yuan's orders, these disciples immediately loaded their soul cannon shells. At the same time, the mouths of the stationary soul cannons were aimed at the White Tiger Legion below. Fire! After Lu Yuan gave the order, 16 Class 6 stationary soul cannons and 10 Class 7 stationary soul cannons fired at the same time. The cannonballs shot out and blasted towards the White Tiger Corps. What's this? Before the White Tiger Legion could react, the cannon shells had already landed in the middle of them. After that, they exploded. Even a Soul Douluo would be injured if they were hit by the explosion of a Class 6 cannon shell, let alone the White Tiger Legion, which was composed of Soul Elders and Soul Ancestors. Their bodies were immediately torn to pieces by the terrifying power of the cannon shells. This was just the first wave, and 26 cannon shells had killed at least 400 to 500 elite Soul Masters in the White Tiger Legion. The explosive power of these cannon shells had an area of effect. Each cannon shell didn't just kill 1 or 2 people. Everyone within its area of effect was affected. Everyone, spread out and run in all directions. Don't gather together, Lin Yuanzhen shouted as he gave his orders to the White Tiger Legion. In the instant that the soul cannon shell exploded, he finally understood what the sense of danger he had felt earlier was. But at this point, it was already too late. Continue firing. Don't fire in one direction now. Coordinate with each other. Every 2 cannons will be responsible for one area. I want to see where the White Tiger Legion can run after we blast this entire plain. Lu Yuan laughed as he spoke. Chapter 783. Yes, Hall Master. Once Lu Yuan finished speaking, the Zither sect's disciples present tacitly used a Class 6 stationary soul cannon and a Class 7 stationary soul cannon to bombard an area. The remaining 6 Class 6 soul cannons formed groups of 3 as they surrounded and bombarded the area. Under the bombardment of these soul cannons, the area where the White Tiger Legion was located was completely destroyed. There wasn't any vegetation on the ground at all. There was only a bare layer of soil. There were charred marks left by the explosions, as well as the remains left behind by the White Tiger Legion. Lu Yuan was very calm as he watched the White Tiger Legion struggling amidst the blood and fire. There wasn't a single trace of pity in his eyes. Since they were his enemies, they couldn't blame him for being ruthless. On the battlefield, it was a matter of life and death. There was a saying in the ancient times, "The merciful couldn't command an army." War had always been cruel. Elder Hongchen, you can play with the Class 8 soul cannons now. Look, there are some rats still struggling fearlessly over there. Lu Yuan's lips curled into a smile as he watched Lin Yuanzhen and the others release their martial souls and try their best to stop the soul cannons from exploding. They seemed to be 4 soul Douluo. Jing Hongchen squinted his eyes and said softly. Even though they were very far away, titled Douluo had very good eyesight. They weren't like the disciples who needed to use the scopes on their soul cannons to aim. To them, their eyes were enough. Yes, they are 4 soul Douluo. I want to see if this Class 8 soul cannon can kill soul Douluo. Lu Yuan laughed as he said. It can if they cooperate well. Unless they are defense-oriented soul Douluo, normal soul Douluo won't be able to resist the power of a Class 8 stationary soul cannon. Jing Hongchen said. Then let's cooperate well, Elder Hongchen. Lu Yuan said. Master, I'll do as you say. Jing Hongchen acknowledged. The 2 of them came to where the Class 8 stationary soul cannons were installed. There are a total of 3 Class 8 stationary soul cannons. Elder Hongchen and I will take 1 each. If any of you are interested, you can play with the last one. Those with low soul power don't have to. You can't control it. Lu Yuan said. Let me do it. Ma Xiaotao said. All right, Sister Xiaotao. You can do it then. Lu Yuan said. The 3 Class 8 stationary soul cannons were loaded with shells as the 3 of them adjusted the cannons, and they began to aim at their targets. Elder Hongqin, Sister Shoutao, do you see that white-robed, long-bearded old man? Blow him up first. Lu Yuan said. Yes, master. Hui Yuanjin Shoutao replied. Fire! Lu Yuan roared, and 3 cannonballs flew out in a triangular formation towards the bearded soul Douluo. Dean Su, be careful! Seeing the 3 cannonballs flying towards the old man, Lin Yuanjin, who was defending from the side, could not help but shout out. Don't worry, Commander. These cannons can't do anything to me. The old man had already blocked several Class 6 and Class 7 soul cannons. He wasn't worried about these 3 cannons. He had already experienced the strength of the explosions. They couldn't do anything to him when he was defending with all his might. Although there were 3 cannons, he was confident that he could block them. However, he didn't know that these cannons weren't Class 6 or Class 7 soul cannons. They were Class 8 stationary soul cannons. They were very powerful. He might not even be able to block one, let alone 3 cannons. Explosive bare true body. The long-bearded old man bellowed, and his body suddenly swelled up. Black light flashed, and his entire person turned into a 5-meter-long explosive bear. The explosive bear wasn't a top-ranked martial soul. It couldn't compare to Zhao Wuji's strength Vajra bear, let alone Ling Wei's dark golden Terraclaw bear. However, the explosive bear was a high-ranked martial soul. It specialized in strength. Its offensive strength was very terrifying, and its defensive strength was very impressive. Block it for me. The old man thought about dodging. These Class 8 soul cannons were too fast. He wasn't good at speed, so he couldn't dodge them. He could only take them head-on. Boom! The 3 Class 8 soul cannon shells collided with the burst bare true body, and sparks immediately soared into the sky. An earth-shattering explosion rang out, and the burst bare true body was almost instantly torn apart. The long-bearded elder only had time to let out a tragic cry before he completely disappeared. The shockwave of the explosion spread out and sent the 3 people not far from the bearded old man flying. A huge crater more than 100 meters deep and more than 500 meters in diameter appeared where the old man had been standing. Class 8 soul cannons were really terrifying. Lin Yuanjin was pushed back more than 100 meters by the shockwave before he managed to stabilize himself in midair. Blood was trickling from the corner of his mouth, indicating that he had been injured. The power of 3 Class 8 soul cannon shells was not to be underestimated. Only a titled Douluo would be able to withstand them. Even a normal titled Douluo would be injured. Dean Su! Lin Yuanjin exclaimed when he saw the soul Douluo being torn apart by the 3 soul cannons. There was a trace of sorrow in his voice. A rank 86 soul Douluo, the dean of the Imperial Star Luo Academy, had died in front of him. Lin Yuanjin's heart trembled as he looked at the crater created by the 3 Class 8 soul cannons. If he had been hit by such terrifying power, he wouldn't even have a corpse left. It's over. It's all over. He turned to look at the battlefield not far away. The ground was covered in blood and debris. Almost all of the White Tiger Legion's 5,000 soldiers had been killed. Only 100 of them were still alive. The first Soul Master Legion of the Star Luo Empire, an elite team that could kill titled Douluo, had been completely blown to smithereens before they could even be seen. He didn't even have a chance to use the military formation that he was so proud of. I hate this! Lin Yuanjin roared into the sky. He had never been defeated in his life. Who would have thought that he would be defeated so miserably today? Furthermore, the White Tiger Legion's Soul Masters were all treasured by the Xianra Empire. There were only 8,000 Soul Masters in the entire Star Luo Empire. 5,000 of them had been killed today. It was a huge loss. Dai Tianfeng would probably faint on the spot if he knew about this. Your Majesty, I've let you down. Lu Yuan, you bastard. Come out. Lin Yuanjun roared as he stared at Lu Yuan and the others. He had been bombarded for so long. How could he not know that Lu Yuan and the others were hiding on the mountain in front of him? Only from a high vantage point could the White Tiger Legion be reduced to such a sorry state. There was nowhere for them to hide. As the Grand Marshal of the Star Luo Empire's 3 armies, Lin Yuanjun was very clear about this. Chapter 784. He's dead. Lu Yuan's eyes involuntarily lit up when he saw the spectacular explosion scene. The corners of his mouth curled slightly as he softly said, "That's to be expected. How can a soul Douluo like him resist the attack of 3 Class 8 stationary soul cannon shells?" Jing Hongqin was very calm. He was very clear about the strength of Class 8 soul cannon shells. Elder Hongqin is right. When the 3 cannonballs collided, the power they unleashed was enormous. "Even I would be injured if I was not careful," Ma Xiaotao said with a sigh. Even though she was a rank 96 titled Douluo, she would have been severely injured if she'd been caught off guard by this attack. Titled Douluo's offensive strength was very strong, and their soul power was abundant. However, their physical bodies weren't that strong. They were stronger than Soul Douluo, but there was a limit to their strength. This was the limitation of the Douluo continent's cultivation. The strength of one's physical body couldn't keep up with the increase in offensive strength. Generally speaking, apart from defense-type soul masters and a small number of offense-type soul masters who were exceptionally talented, the rest of the soul masters, even titled Douluo, wouldn't be able to resist the slashes of blades if they didn't use their martial souls and soul power. It was laughable, but this was the current situation of soul masters on the Douluo continent. There was probably only one person in the world who had a jade-like body that was invulnerable to weapons and invulnerable to fire and water like Lu Yuan. There wasn't a single soul master whose physical body could compare to Lu Yuan's under the god rank. This was the case even for ultimate Douluo like Long Xiaoyao and Pasizi. The reason why they were terrifying was because of their soul power, not their physical bodies. Even Poseidon had a hard time holding Poseidon's trident, which weighed 108,000 kilograms. Lu Yuan, on the other hand, had a force of 200,000 kilograms. To be honest, even if Lu Yuan had used up all his soul power, he would still be able to go in and out of the White Tiger Legion on his own. That was because no one below the titled rank could hurt him at all. Perhaps his soul force would be depleted very quickly, but Lu Yuan's physical strength wouldn't be depleted even after 5 to 6 hours of continuous fighting. He didn't need to use his soul force at all. He only needed to rely on his powerful physique and his 200,000 kilograms of strength. Every punch and kick was fatal to those soul masters. Lu Yuan alone could wipe out the entire White Tiger Corps. Therefore, Dai Tianfeng's plan was doomed to fail from the very beginning. It wasn't that there was a problem with his plan, but rather the person he was targeting. Lu Yuan wasn't a normal soul master at all. Furthermore, there was an ultimate Douluo like Long Xiaoyao and a Class 9 soul engineer like Jing Hongqin behind him. They were almost fatal to these soldiers. There were 2 reasons why Lu Yuan had planned all of this instead of relying on brute strength. Firstly, it was because the people behind him were all titled Douluo. Asking them to attack a Soul Master Legion was like using sledgehammers to crack a nut. In other words, it was a little unworthy of their statuses. Secondly, Lu Yuan wanted to test the strength of soul tools in battle. This was a powerful weapon that the Martial Soul Palace would rely on to unify the continent in the future. Of course, the results were delightful. Soul tools were like nightmares to these soul master armies. Sister Xiaotao is right. This Class 8 stationary soul cannon is very powerful. I just don't know how powerful a Class 9 stationary soul cannon will be. Lu Yuan said softly. Hall Master, you'll have the chance to see it. I don't think the strength of this Class 9 stationary soul cannon will disappoint you. Jing Hongqin said confidently. After hearing this, Lu Yuan smiled. He looked at the battlefield, which was almost completely destroyed. He lifted his hand and signaled for them to stop firing. Cannon shells were quite expensive. Since they were almost done, there was no need to waste them. Let's go, everyone. Let's kill the rest of the rat, Lu Yuan said softly. He hugged Zhu Zhuqing, and a golden dragon projection appeared beneath his feet. He turned into a streak of golden light and went straight for the battlefield. Long Xiaoyao and the rest hurriedly followed. Lu Yuan, you bastard! Come out now! Lin Yuanjun was still roaring from where she was. Are you looking for me? A faint voice sounded. Lu Yuan hugged Zhu Zhuqing and suddenly appeared in midair. You're Lu Yuan? After seeing Lu Yuan appear, Lin Yuanjun stared straight at Lu Yuan. His eyes were blood-red, and his expression was ferocious. There was a terrifying killing intent in his eyes. Lu Yuan had destroyed 5,000 elite soul masters from the White Tiger Legion. Lin Yuanjun really wanted to eat his flesh and drink his blood. You're the marshal of the Xianra Empire's 3 armies, Lin Yuanjun, right? How was it? Did it feel good to be bombarded? I prepared it especially for you and the White Tiger Legion. Don't thank me. Lu Yuan laughed softly. Bastard, I'm going to kill you. After hearing Lu Yuan's words, Lin Yuanjun was furious. His killing intent surged. However, he still had doubts in his heart. Hence, he temporarily suppressed his killing intent. What was that? Lin Yuanjun's heart trembled a little when he thought about the terrifying impact of the soul cannon shell. It's called a stationary soul cannon. It's a type of soul tool. In the future, the Xianra Empire will be destroyed because of it. You're the first to experience its power, but you won't be the last. In the future, the other armies of the Xianra Empire will have a taste of what you've experienced today. Lu Yuan said plainly. What did you say? Lin Yuanjun couldn't help but feel a chill run down his spine upon hearing Lu Yuan's words. The Star Luo Empire's army was indeed powerful, but if they were to encounter the same situation as him today, then no matter how many soldiers they had, they would still be blasted into smithereens. Furthermore, this person actually wanted to destroy the Xianra Empire. No, I can't let this person live. Otherwise, the Star Luo Empire will be in danger. A thought suddenly appeared in Lin Yuanjun's mind, and the killing intent in his heart surged explosively. He was extremely loyal to the Star Luo royal family, and seeing as he was going to die for sure, he was going to drag this threat to the Star Luo Empire down with him before he died. Die! Lin Yuanjun roared and suddenly launched an attack. Moreover, he attacked with all his strength. In midair, a huge tiger that was 8 meters long attacked Lu Yuan. It was Lin Yuanjun's martial soul true body, the tyrannical tiger true body. Pointless attack. Lu Yuan's eyes were indifferent. He hugged Zhu Zhuqing with his left hand and waved his right hand. The golden dragon spear appeared in his hand. Zhuqing, watch carefully. Unpredictable storm. Chapter 785. The 8-meter-long tyrannical tiger true body roared into the sky and pounced towards Lu Yuan. Lin Yuanjun no longer cared about his own life, and all he wanted to do was drag Lu Yuan down with him. On one hand, the White Tiger Legion had been annihilated, and the 300,000-strong army had been crushed. Lin Yuanjun didn't have the face to see Dai Tianfeng again. He was the commander of the Xianra Empire's 3 armies, but his entire army had been annihilated. Furthermore, the annihilation of the White Tiger Legion had completely shaken the foundation of the Xianra Empire's soul masters. On the other hand, Lu Yuan's existence was too great a threat to the Xianra Empire. The power of his stationary soul cannons was even more shocking. If these things were used on the Xianra Empire's army in the future, it would be a disaster. Therefore, Lin Yuanjun was willing to use his last bit of strength to drag Lu Yuan down with him. He wanted to get rid of this scourge for the Xianra Empire. Lin Yuanjin's idea was good, but he neglected an extremely important problem. Lu Yuan was far stronger than him. Unbounded storm. The golden dragon spear appeared in Lu Yuan's hand. Lu Yuan's wrist shook slightly, and the golden dragon spear drew a circle in the air. Suddenly, a golden halo shot out and landed on the huge tyrannical tiger true body. In just an instant, the tyrannical tiger true body froze on the spot. Unbounded storm, the first move of the sea god's 13 halberds. It ignored rank, and once it hit, it would definitely work. With Lu Yuan's current strength, he could control Lin Yuanjin for 8 seconds and immobilize him. 8 seconds was enough for Lu Yuan to kill Lin Yuanjin several times over. Never to return. Golden light flashed, and the golden dragon spear turned into a streak of bright golden light. It shot forward, and a loud dragon's roar could be heard. Splat! This was the sound of the spear tip piercing into the tyrant tiger's body. The tyrant tiger true body was over 8 meters in length, and it was punctured by the golden dragon spear. The tyrant tiger true body dissipated, and Lin Yuanjin's body reappeared. Lin Yuanjin raised his right hand with great difficulty. He wanted to say something, but he didn't have the ability to say a single word. Blood continued to pour out of his mouth, and the light in his eyes slowly dimmed. His only fate was to be pierced through by the golden dragon spear, which was imbued with the power of engulfment. Lin Yuanjin's body suddenly fell, making a thud. Lu Yuan slowly descended onto the ground before waving a hand, and the golden dragon spear that was several dozen meters away flew back into his hand. In just 2 moves, he had killed a rank 88 soul Douluo. Even without using his martial soul, Lu Yuan would most likely be able to pummel Douluo with just his soul power and physical strength. Once he unleashed his martial soul, he would be able to put up a fight against the sword Douluo, and even if he couldn't defeat him, he wouldn't lose too badly. Lin Yuanjin was a rank 88 soul Douluo, so she was no match for him. How much have you learned from those 2 moves? Lu Yuan wasn't affected by the fact that he had killed Lin Yuanjin in 2 moves. Instead, he turned to Zhu Zhuqing. After becoming a Soul Emperor, Zhu Zhuqing was going to head to the Sea God's Island to receive the Sea God's inheritance, so she had to learn the Sea God's divine skills. Lu Yuan only had 4 moves of the Sea God's divine skills, but just these 4 moves were enough for Zhu Zhuqing to learn. In particular, the first 3 moves were the foundation of the entire Sea God's 13 halberds. Once she learned the first 3 moves, it would be a lot easier for her to learn the rest. As such, Lu Yuan had already demonstrated the Sea God's divine skills to Zhu Zhuqing in advance. Can I say that I haven't learned much? Zhu Zhuqing was a little embarrassed as she looked at Lu Yuan. What did you say? Lu Yuan's eyes narrowed upon hearing Zhu Zhuqing's words, and a dangerous light flashed in his eyes. Was she distracted again? I said that I've only learned a little. Zhu Zhuqing glanced at Lu Yuan before lowering her head. She was usually very confident when she spoke in front of Lu Yuan, but she felt a little guilty when it came to spear technique. Lu Yuan was very serious when he taught her, but she learned very slowly. Therefore, she was a little embarrassed when faced with Lu Yuan's question. Alas, forget it. Learning a little is still better than not learning anything at all. However, I'll give you 2 months after we return. During this period of time, you must learn the vast ocean spear art and learn the basics of unpredictable storm. Otherwise, Lu Yuan snorted as he spoke. Otherwise, what do you want? Zhu Zhuqing asked. Otherwise, I'll spank your butt again. Lu Yuan's gaze wandered around Zhu Zhuqing's perky butt. Swish. Zhu Zhuqing's pretty face suddenly turned red when she heard Lu Yuan's words. She recalled the time when she was spanked with Chihiro Snow and the others. She suddenly felt very embarrassed. Bad egg. Zhu Zhuqing secretly scolded. Whatever you say. This matter is settled. You can resist, but with your strength, hee. Lu Yuan chuckled with a trace of disdain in his tone. This chuckle immediately angered Zhu Zhuqing. Lu Yuan was actually mocking her strength. Anger rose from her heart. She looked at Lu Yuan's shoulder and opened her mouth, wanting to bite it. Cough cough. Bite me, but remember the consequences of biting me last time. Lu Yuan chuckled as he looked at Zhu Zhuqing's action. Zhu Zhuqing's body trembled when she heard this. She recalled Lu Yuan's jade-like body and immediately retracted her little mouth. This fellow, she bit him for so long, but nothing happened to him. Instead, she was the one who was in so much pain. You only know how to bully me. Zhu Zhuqing pouted and said coquettishly. Lu Yuan couldn't help but chuckle when he saw this. He gently rubbed her head. Ever since they got engaged, this girl's personality had changed a lot. She was really becoming more and more adorable. I wonder if there are any soul bones. As the marshal of the Xianra Empire's 3 armies, it would be too embarrassing if he didn't even have a soul bone. Lu Yuan spoke softly as he gently probed Lin Yuanjin's body with his golden dragon spear. There really is one. As soon as he sensed the peculiar fluctuations emanating from the golden dragon spear, Lu Yuan abruptly exerted some force and flicked his wrist, sending a golden right arm bone flying through the air. Lu Yuan used his spiritual power and immediately hovered it in midair. The right arm bone of a 20,000-year fierce divine tiger. It's not bad. Lu Yuan recognized the type and age of the soul bone at a glance. He opened his palm slightly and used his soul power to remove the bloodstains on it. Then, he kept it in his astral ring. Lin Yuanjin, Grand Marshal of the Star Luo Army, I've eliminated yet another powerful enemy today. Without Lin Yuanjin, the Star Luo Army has lost a pillar of support. It'll be much easier to attack the Star Luo Army in the future. It will be easier to defeat the Star Luo Empire in the future, Lu Yuan said softly as he looked at Lin Yuanjin's corpse. Chapter 786. Yes. Lin Yuanjin, the Star Luo war god. I grew up listening to his name, but I didn't expect him to die at your hands today. This scene is a little surreal. After hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Zhuqing sighed and said, What's so surreal about it? If you're not strong enough, you have to die. No matter how prominent his identity is, only Lin Yuanjin has died today. In the future, I'll let Dai Tianfeng accompany him. Don't be too surprised then, little girl. Lu Yuan lifted Zhu Zhuqing's chin and said. After hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing rolled her eyes and ignored Lu Yuan. After seeing this, Lu Yuan wasn't angry. He glanced around, and 2 screams rang out not far away. The other 2 soul Douluo had been smashed into meat paste by Ma Xiaotao and Jing Hongqian. This soul tool is indeed a killing machine in war. It's very powerful. However, this scene is a little tragic. After scanning the battlefield, Lu Yuan sighed and said as he looked at the blood and corpses on the battlefield. The power of the stationary soul cannon was simply too terrifying. Not only were there no corpses left, but even their remains were roasted by the high temperature, and there was an unpleasant smell coming from them. As the wind blew, Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help but frown as she was in Lu Yuan's arms. She couldn't help but retch. After seeing this, Lu Yuan's hand shone with white light, and he injected it into Zhu Zhuqing's body. At the same time, Lu Yuan released his aura. His aura surged and formed a whirlwind that expelled the unpleasant smell around them. With the nourishment of Qing Qi's divine power, Zhu Zhuqing quickly recovered. She didn't feel like vomiting anymore. Little kitty, you're not used to the brutality of this battlefield, right? Lu Yuan asked gently as he caressed Zhu Zhuqing's long hair. It's all right. I can tolerate the blood and corpses. However, the smell of the corpses being roasted by the high temperature is really unpleasant. It makes me want to vomit. Obuchi, these stationary soul cannons are too powerful. If there's no need to use them in the future, it's better not to use them. Killing too much is going against the heavens. Zhu Zhuqing said solemnly. What's wrong? Is my little kitten being kind again? Lu Yuan said with a smile. I'm worried about you. Can you be more serious? Zhu Zhuqing said seriously as she slapped Lu Yuan's hand away from her face. Alright, I know. I'll be careful when I use soul tools. Do I look like a homicidal maniac? Lu Yuan said. You are not a homicidal maniac, but you are not a good person either. Zhu Zhuqing curled her lips and said. I never said I was a good person, Lu Yuan said with a chuckle. Did he ever say that he was a good person? Good people didn't live long. He didn't want to be a good person. It was enough to be someone with a bottom line. Not only are you not ashamed of being a bad person, you even look quite proud. Looking at Lu Yuan's appearance, Zhu Zhuqing said snappily. That's right. If I were a good person, would I be able to pursue you? Women don't like good men. You don't look like someone who likes good people who are inflexible. Lu Yuan said plainly. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing didn't reply. She didn't like those rigid and inflexible so-called good guys. On the contrary, a man like Lu Yuan who was cruel and merciless to his enemies and doted on his woman in every possible way was more pleasing to her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have fallen so deeply in love with Lu Yuan that she couldn't extricate herself from it. TSK, my little kitten doesn't know what to say. Lu Yuan teased. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help but roll her eyes. A look of helplessness flashed across her eyes. She really didn't know what to do with such a man. Master! Just as Lu Yuan and Hui Yuhao were still teasing each other, Long Xiaoyao and the rest appeared in front of him. Have you dealt with all of them? Lu Yuan asked. Master, we've dealt with all of them. None of the White Tiger Army's 5,000 men survived. The 2 Soul Douluo have also been executed. Long Xiaoyao said. Very good. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Lu Yuan couldn't help but nod. Oh yes, Master. What about the remaining 200,000 soldiers? Ma Xiaodao asked. What do you think, Hallmaster Hongchen? Lu Yuan asked as he looked at Jing Hongchen. I think we should kill them all, Jing Hongchen said. Zhu Zhuqing and Ma Xiaodao both frowned at the same time. They were both kind-hearted people. If they were asked to kill an army of 200,000, they would never be able to do it. That's a big lie. Master, you can't do that. If you do that, you'll be no different from a butcher. After hearing Jing Hongchen's words, Xian Zi immediately rebutted strongly. What do you think, Elder Long? Lu Yuan asked Long Xiaoyao. It's just an army of 200,000. It's a small matter whether we kill them or let them go. Master, you can decide, Long Xiaoyao said. After hearing this, Lu Yuan couldn't help but raise his brows. Their answers were a little interesting. Jing Hongchen was a classic example of a ruthless person. He was vicious and merciless. He wanted to eliminate his enemies completely. On the other hand, Zhu Zhuqing was kind-hearted. She didn't like to kill people. Xian Zi and Ma Xiaodao were both from Shrek Academy. Although some of their memories had changed, their personalities were still there. They couldn't kill 200,000 people. As for Long Xiaoyao, he had always been arrogant. Other than the people in his eyes, human lives didn't matter to him. He didn't care at all. It could be said that everyone's reactions and answers were within Lu Yuan's expectations. Obuchi, don't forget what I said just now. Don't kill too many people. After seeing Lu Yuan in deep thought, Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help but say, I think it's better to kill them all. We don't have to let them go and fight us in the future. After hearing Zhu Zhuqing's words, Zhu Zhuyun's voice rang out. Zhu Zhuyun, shut up. Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help but scold Zhu Zhuyun. She was already a little conflicted about Zhu Zhuyun coveting Lu Yuan. Now, Zhu Zhuyun's words made her even more unhappy. All right, stop arguing. Sister Xiaotao, go and ask them if they're willing to surrender. If they refuse to surrender and resist to the end, then they're our enemies. Naturally, we have to exterminate our enemies. If they're willing to surrender, we'll take them in. There are 200,000 of them. They're not weak either. Lu Yuan said softly. After hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing opened her mouth. She wanted to say something, but was interrupted by Lu Yuan. Zhuqing, we can't be merciful. I don't kill captives, but I can't be merciful to my enemies. We have to destroy them. Otherwise, if we don't kill them, we'll suffer a backlash. I can't let 200,000 elite soldiers return to the Star Luo royal family and become my enemy again. Their fates are in their own hands. If they're willing to surrender, everything will be over. But if they're unwilling to surrender, I can only apologize. Lu Yuan said plainly. Chapter 787. But they're not soul masters. They're ordinary people. Obuchi, how can you kill them? Zhu Zhuqing said. Pedantic. They're not ordinary people. They're soldiers. They're killing machines on the battlefield. If soul masters kill innocent civilians as they please, then their crimes are unforgivable. However, no soldier on the battlefield is innocent. They're on the battlefield to kill their enemies. If they want to kill others, they naturally have to be prepared to be killed. Since ancient times, I've only heard that killing captives is ominous. Massacring a city is inhumane and devoid of conscience. I've never heard of anyone being criticized for destroying an army of 1,000,000. When two parties are enemies, isn't it normal to destroy the enemy's army? How can there be no deaths in war? Furthermore, I've given them a chance. As long as they surrender, nothing will happen. It's up to them to decide. I won't kill captives. Being lenient to captives is called being merciful. Being merciful to enemies who haven't laid down their weapons is a fool. Lu Yuan said plainly. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing's face turned white and red. This was the first time Lu Yuan had spoken to her in such a tone. Zhuqing, I know you're kind-hearted. However, being kind-hearted depends on the occasion. Haven't you never been merciful to soul masters who are your enemies? Why are you so soft-hearted today? Is it just because these soldiers aren't soul masters? Lu Yuan asked. Yes, we're soul masters. It's not right for us to attack ordinary people. I can't accept it. Furthermore, if we kill more than 200,000 people, the sin of killing will be too heavy. I'm worried that it'll affect you negatively. Zhu Zhuqing looked at Lu Yuan with concern in her eyes. I understand. Actually, I don't want to kill them. However, if they refuse to surrender and resist, I can't do anything. After all, some people have raised their weapons against me. I can't be merciful. However, you don't have to worry. Lin Yuanjin, the Star Luo army god, is dead. The faith in these soldiers has been destroyed. Their fighting spirit has been greatly reduced. In addition to the explosion of the soul tools and the bombardment of the stationary soul cannons, the terrifying might of the divine punishment has already frightened them. I'm afraid they don't have the guts to fight us again. Sister Xiaotao, the success rate of persuading them to surrender is at least 90%. It can be said that they will definitely surrender. After all, being able to live is better than being dead. Furthermore, ordinary soldiers may not be that loyal to the Star Luo imperial family. All they want is food and shelter. Lu Yuan said with a smile. So, in fact, you've already thought about it in your heart. Then why did you deliberately ask us? Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help but ask when she recalled Lu Yuan's question. I just want to understand your thoughts. I also want to take this opportunity to change your mindset, Lu Yuan said with a smile. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help but roll her eyes and feel slightly speechless. Soon, a red light flashed and Ma Xiaotao returned. Sister Xiaotao, what's the result? Lu Yuan asked. There are some die-hard loyalists who refuse to surrender, but they have been killed by their subordinate. The remaining people are willing to submit to us, Ma Xiaotao said. With an army of over 200,000, it's normal for there to be a few people who are loyal to Dai Tianfeng. However, the majority of them are still sensible. Since they are willing to surrender, Then let's accept them. Sect Leader Fu, go back and call that old fellow Zhu Junlin over. I'll leave these 200,000 troops to you. It doesn't matter if we change the generals or brainwash them, we must completely subdue these 200,000 soldiers. Also, many of them are injured. The two of you must pay attention to the treatment of their injuries. After the training, this army will be divided into two groups. They will be stationed in Sky Sound City and Sinuous City respectively. Lu Yuan said plainly. Yes, Hallmaster. Hallmaster, what are your plans after this? Fu Yinheng asked curiously after hearing Lu Yuan's words. After hearing what Lu Yuan and the rest said, they seemed to have other places to go. I do have some plans. Sect Leader Fu, you've seen the power of the stationary soul cannon just now. Do you think it'll be interesting if I fire a few cannons at the Star Luo Imperial Palace and blow it up into the sky? Lu Yuan asked with a smile. Hallmaster wants to blow up the Star Luo Palace? Hearing Lu Yuan's words, Fu Yinheng couldn't help but blush with shame. This Hallmaster is a little daring. However, his Hallmaster has always been like this. Yes, Dai Tianfeng actually dared to send an army to attack me. I have to return the favor. This is called reciprocity. Furthermore, if I don't hurt him, how can he be obedient? What if he comes to find trouble with Sky Sound City and Sinuous City after I leave? We have to guard against that. Lu Yuan sighed. Hallmaster, you're right. Hearing Lu Yuan's words, Fu Yinheng couldn't help but nod. Now that Lu Yuan and the rest were here, Dai Tianfeng didn't dare to provoke them after experiencing this crushing defeat. However, once Lu Yuan left, Dai Tianfeng might come to settle the score. If Lu Yuan blew up the Star Luo Palace, Dai Tianfeng would be extremely wary of him. Then, Dai Tianfeng wouldn't act rashly before he had the confidence to deal with Lu Yuan. Sky Sound City and Sinuous City wouldn't be in too much danger. The Hallmaster was very considerate. Then, Hallmaster, are you going to set off now? Fu Yinheng asked. Of course. Speed is the most important thing in war. I'll take a stroll in the Star Luo Palace first. While Dai Tianfeng is still waiting for me to be captured, I'll suddenly throw Lin Yuanjin's head in front of him. His expression should be very interesting then. Furthermore, I want to take advantage of the fact that he's unprepared to wipe out the remaining 3,000 members of the White Tiger Legion. I want to completely destroy the White Tiger Legion. Without the Soul Master Legion, the Star Luo royal family will be much less of a threat. At the very least, even if they send an army to attack, without the Soul Master Legion, you'll be able to retreat with ease. Lu Yuan said. Hallmaster, you're right. Fu Yinheng nodded in agreement. Without the Soul Master Legion, even if Dai Tianfeng sent out an army of 1,000,000, they could still retreat quickly. How could an ordinary army catch up to a Soul Master? Then it's settled. Sister Xiaotao, you stay behind to help Sect Master Fu and the rest maintain order. As for Zhu Qing, do you want to go to the Star Luo Palace with me? Lu Yuan asked. Hearing this, Zhu Qing nodded lightly. All right, since that's the case, Elder Long, Elder Xian, and Hallmaster Hongqian, let's set off now. Lu Yuan said gently. Chapter 788. Lu Yuan, wait a minute. If all of you go to the Star Luo Palace, what about me? What about me? Zhu Zhuyun hurriedly asked when she saw that Lu Yuan and the rest were about to leave her behind. You? Just stay here. When the time comes, you can return with Sect Leader Fu and the rest. Lu Yuan glanced at Zhu Zhuyun and said plainly. No, I have to follow Zhu Qing at all times. I have to take care of her. Zhu Zhuyun said. I don't need you to take care of me. Furthermore, I think you want to take the opportunity to get close to Obuchi. Other than me, everyone else going there is a man. How can we bring you along? Don't tell me you want Obuchi to carry you there? Zhu Zhuqing said coldly. That's not impossible. Zhu Zhuyun laughed coquettishly. In your dreams, Zhu Zhuqing said coldly. All right, stop fooling around. Stay here. The journey to the Star Luo Palace is long. It's indeed inconvenient to bring you along. Furthermore, we're not going there to play. We still have to fight with Dai Tianfeng. When that happens, we won't have the energy to take care of you. If I'm not careful and you die there, it'll be my fault. Lu Yuan said softly. The corner of Zhu Zhuyun's mouth twitched when she heard this. A few black lines appeared on her forehead. Does this Lu Yuan know how to speak? Is he cursing me to die? That's it. I won't talk to you anymore. We'll leave first. Lu Yuan didn't give Zhu Zhuyun any time to react. Golden light flashed on his body, and a loud dragon roar sounded. The golden dragon martial soul was attached to his body. Lu Yuan gently hugged Zhu Zhuqing. The huge dragon wings on his back flapped, and he charged into the sky. Long Xiaoyao and the rest quickly followed behind him. Seeing that Lu Yuan had really left her behind, Zhu Zhuyun couldn't help but stomp her feet in annoyance. She had missed another opportunity to get close to him. Although she had already made an agreement with Lu Yuan, she still had some strange thoughts in her heart. A golden light streaked across the sky. It was Lu Yuan. His left hand was wrapped around Zhu Zhuqing's waist, while Zhu Zhuqing was tightly hugging his neck. Her charming face was extremely close to his face. Do you feel regretful that you didn't bring my sister along just now? You have two beauties on your left and right, and they're even beautiful sisters. Do you really not have any thoughts? Looking at Lu Yuan's handsome face that was just inches away from her, Zhu Zhuqing's red lips parted slightly, and a faint voice came out. Hearing this, Lu Yuan's mouth twitched. This little kitten, she's at it again. Alright, stop testing me. I've already said that I'm not interested in her. Why do you keep asking? Am I the kind of person who will hide what I like? Don't let your imagination run wild. If you keep nagging me all day, I might really. You're really what? You're really purposely trying to piss me off and do something bad? Zhu Zhuqing narrowed her eyes, and there was a dangerous look in her eyes. That of course not. What I mean is that if you keep nagging, I'll really stuff your mouth. Lu Yuan's gaze drifted towards Zhu Zhuqing's red lip. Seeing this, Zhu Zhuqing's charming face first blushed, then she glared at Lu Yuan without backing down and said, If you're not afraid that we'll both fall to our deaths from high up in the sky, then come at me. Hiss, interesting. Provoking me, huh? You win now, but after the Star Luo Palace's matter is over, I'll properly settle the score with you. At that time, don't beg for mercy. Hearing this, Lu Yuan took a light breath, then flapped his dragon wings and sped up again. TCH, I'm not afraid of you. Zhu Zhuqing curled her lips and said indifferently. 25 kilometers from Sinua City to Star Luo City wasn't very far, but there was still some distance. Therefore, Lu Yuan and the rest had no choice but to speed up in order to arrive as soon as possible. Lin Yuanzhen and the rest took more than 2 days to travel from Star Luo City to Sinua City. However, Lu Yuan and the rest arrived outside Star Luo City in less than half a day as they flew at top speed. In the sky above Star Luo City, above the clouds, Lu Yuan and the rest appeared. The temperature in the sky was very low, and it was very uncomfortable for ordinary people. For example, Zhu Zhuqing was so cold that she hugged her body tightly and refused to let go. Seeing that Lu Yuan had stopped, Long Xiaoyao and the rest also stopped and asked softly, Master, why aren't we moving forward? Do you know where the White Tiger Army is stationed in the Star Luo Palace? Lu Yuan asked. Hearing this, Long Xiaoyao and the rest shook their heads. It was their first time here, so who would know? Little kitty, do you know? Lu Yuan looked at Zhu Zhuqing in his arms and asked. I'm not too sure, but I know that the White Tiger Army has 1,000 soldiers stationed there to guard the Star Luo Palace. Zhu Zhuqing said. This means that the Star Luo Palace has 1,000 elite soul masters from the White Tiger Army. Lu Yuan smiled. What do you plan to do next, Master? Xianzi asked. It's very simple. We don't know, but someone else does. The bishop of the Martial Soul Temple, Osford, has been in Star Luo City for so many years. I don't know if he knows where the White Tiger Army is stationed. Lu Yuan said. So, Obuchi, are you saying that we should ask Osford to lead the way? Zhu Zhuqing asked. Of course. Lu Yuan said with a faint smile. In the blink of an eye, it was already 4 in the afternoon. Are you all ready? A group of figures flashed in front of the Star Luo Palace. It was Lu Yuan and the rest. At this moment, Lu Yuan's clear voice rang out as he looked at Jing Hongchen in front of him. Everything is ready. Bishop Osford has personally sent someone to lead the way. I've already locked onto the coordinates. It's right here. As long as we fire a Class 9 soul cannon, the White Tiger Army's base will be gone. Jing Hongchen smiled as he spoke. Very good. We can begin then. Lu Yuan hugged Zhu Zhuqing as golden light spread beneath his feet. The projection of a golden dragon flashed as he swept into the Star Luo Palace. Long Xiaoyao and Xian Zi hurriedly followed behind him. Jing Hongchen, on the other hand, had set up his legendary Class 9 stationary soul cannon in a hidden location. He was only waiting for Lu Yuan's command before he could fire. Lu Yuan and the others walked in openly, immediately attracting the attention of the White Tiger Corps that was guarding the palace. Who's there? One of the Soul Emperors from the White Tiger Legion couldn't help but cry out when he saw Lu Yuan and the others. As he shouted, the rest of the White Tiger Army guards reacted. They immediately chased after Lu Yuan and the rest. Lu Yuan and the rest were very quick. They quickly arrived outside the main hall. Lu Yuan and the rest appeared in midair. How dare you barge into the Star Luo Palace? Lu Yuan and the rest revealed themselves without any hesitation. Immediately, the White Tiger Army guards in front of the main hall activated their martial souls. They were ready to unleash their auras. However, Lu Yuan didn't even look at them. He focused his energy in his dantian and shouted, Dai Tianfeng, come out and watch the fireworks. Chapter 789. Dai Tianfeng, come out and watch the fireworks. Lu Yuan channeled the power of the Golden Dragon's bloodline in his body. His voice was as loud and penetrating as a dragon's roar. The entire Star Luo Palace could hear Lu Yuan's voice. Many concubines, princesses, and princes were shocked by Lu Yuan's voice. The entire palace was in an uproar. Just as Lu Yuan's voice rang out, Jing Hongchen opened fire. A Class 9 soul cannon shell tore through the air as it flew towards the White Tiger Legion's encampment. How dare you call His Majesty's name? The White Tiger Legion soldiers in front of the main hall shouted when they heard Lu Yuan's shout. A bunch of flying-type soul masters flew into the sky and surrounded Lu Yuan and the rest. They wanted to capture this audacious traitor. You're asking for death. Seeing this, Lu Yuan didn't even move. Long Xiaoyao, who was behind him, slapped the air slightly, and an invisible force slammed into the bodies of these soul masters. Instantly, they were turned into a bloody mist. The steps in front of the main hall were also slapped down by Long Xiaoyao. Suddenly, the ground began to shake, and even the entire main hall trembled. Who are you? How dare you be so presumptuous in the Star Luo Palace? First, it was Lu Yuan who called him by his name. There wasn't any respect in his tone at all. Instead, there was a teasing tone to it. After that, Long Xiaoyao slapped the steps in front of the main hall. Dai Tianfeng couldn't sit still anymore as the Star Luo Emperor. Who are you? Why have you come to the Star Luo Palace? Looking at Lu Yuan and the others who were hovering in the air, Dai Tianfeng's eyes narrowed. He actually suppressed the anger in his chest. Only titled Douluo could fly in the air without releasing their martial souls. Could these people in front of him be titled Douluo? The two elders behind him were fine, but the man and woman in front of him were too young. They could actually fly in the air. This left Dai Tianfeng a little surprised. You'll know who we are later. Come, let me treat you to a fireworks show. Lu Yuan chuckled as he pointed at the northwestern corner of the Star Luo Imperial Palace. Just as Lu Yuan finished speaking, a burst of dazzling flames appeared in the northwest corner, and an extremely conspicuous mushroom cloud rose into the sky. Then, the earth shook, and the entire Star Luo Imperial Palace shook. Immediately after, a thunderous explosion resounded in the ears of Lu Yuan and the others. Boom! A loud and clear sound rang out, causing Dai Tianfeng to involuntarily frown slightly. Looking at the beautiful mushroom cloud in the northwest corner, he did not know why, but he had a bad premonition in his heart. That seems to be the White Tiger Corps' encampment, Dai Tianfeng murmured softly. All of a sudden, his body trembled as an ominous thought appeared in his mind. What was that thing just now? What did you do to the White Tiger Corps? Dai Tianfeng asked a little agitatedly as he looked at Lu Yuan. It's just a cannonball that can create art. How was it? The mushroom cloud was beautiful, wasn't it? As for your White Tiger Corps, I can only tell you that they've been completely annihilated along with the mushroom cloud. Lu Yuan was very sincere as he spoke. What did you say? After hearing Lu Yuan's words, Dai Tianfeng couldn't help but take 2 steps back. He was panting loudly, evidently shocked. I didn't say anything. It's just that the White Tiger Corps' encampment has been destroyed. The 2,000 White Tiger Corps soldiers that you left there are also gone. Oh yes, you must be very curious about who I am. Come, I'll tell you right away. Lu Yuan smiled and waved his hand gently. A corpse was tossed in front of Dai Tianfeng. Yuanjin. After seeing the corpse's appearance, Dai Tianfeng couldn't help but exclaim. Wasn't this the marshal of his 3 armies, the Star Luo army god, Lin Yuanjin? Didn't he send Lin Yuanjin to deal with Lu Yuan? Why would he appear here? Dai Tianfeng's mind spun. 2 elderly titled Douluo were protecting him, and a handsome young man in white was holding a cold young lady in his arms. At this moment, a thought flashed through his mind, and he completely understood everything. You're Lu Yuan. Dai Tianfeng pointed at Lu Yuan and said word by word. Oh, it seems like you're not stupid. Lu Yuan smiled and directly admitted his identity. You killed Yuanjin? Dai Tianfeng asked in disbelief. What's the big deal about killing him? I also completely wiped out your 5,000-man White Tiger army. Even your army has been absorbed by me. How is it? Are you surprised? Also, I've already killed 7,000 Soul Masters from the White Tiger army. Your White Tiger army is only left with 1,000 people. Are you happy about this gift of mine? Lu Yuan asked with a chuckle. Lu Yuan, you deserve to die. After hearing Lu Yuan's words, Dai Tianfeng's expression changed greatly. His mind was shaken, and he almost fainted. The 7,000-man White Tiger army had been wiped out, and the Empire's war god, Lin Yuanjin, had also died. This loss really made Dai Tianfeng's heart bleed. After he came to his senses, Dai Tianfeng's heart was filled with killing intent. White Tiger army, go! Take this traitor down. I want to put him to death. Dai Tianfeng was infuriated. For a moment, he completely forgot about his fear of Long Xiaoyao and Xian Zi behind Lu Yuan. He immediately gave the order to capture Lu Yuan and the others. TSK, I gave you a gift out of kindness. It's fine if you don't like it, but you still want to hit people. How rude. Forget it. Who asked me to be so kind? I'll give you another gift. Lu Yuan smiled faintly. His figure flashed, and under Dai Tianfeng's suspicious gaze, he suddenly rose several thousand meters into the air. At the same time, a flaming cannon shell whistled through the air and hit the main hall of the Star Luo Palace, right in front of Dai Tianfeng's eyes. Boom! Another huge sound rang out, and a dazzling light flashed. At the same time, rolling energy swept out from the point of explosion. The boundless explosive energy affected the entire Star Luo Palace, and a beautiful mushroom cloud slowly rose into the air. Under the destruction of this energy, the entire Star Luo Imperial Palace had almost completely exploded. The Star Luo Imperial Palace, which was at the center of the explosion, had suffered unimaginable destruction. The entire Star Luo Imperial Palace had turned into a huge crater. TSK, explosions are indeed an art. The strength of this Class 9 stationary soul cannon is really extraordinary. In the sky, Lu Yuan first looked at the beautiful mushroom cloud before he glanced at the Star Luo Palace below. Everywhere he looked, it was a mess. What white tiger core! What resplendent palace! Everything had been reduced to nothingness. All that was left was a ghastly, gigantic crater. Chapter 790. Dai Tianfeng isn't dead, is he? Zhu Zhuqing asked softly as she looked at the rubble below. No, he wasn't hit directly by a Class 9 stationary soul cannon. In addition, he's a rank 94 titled Douluo. It's inevitable that he'll be injured in such an explosion. However, he's still able to survive. A Class 9 stationary soul cannon is indeed very powerful. However, it's still a little difficult to kill a titled Douluo. The power of a Class 9 stationary soul cannon lies more in its area of effect damage. Dai Tianfeng will be fine, but the elite soul masters of the White Tiger Legion around him will be in trouble. Their weak soul power won't be able to resist the damage of a Class 9 stationary soul cannon's explosion. They've already been reduced to ashes. Lu Yuan chuckled as he spoke. Doesn't that mean that the White Tiger Legion has been wiped out? Zhu Zhuqing asked. How can it be fake? I said that I'm going to wipe out the White Tiger Legion, so I'm going to wipe them out. Do you think I'm joking? Lu Yuan said plainly. With the power of a Class 9 stationary soul cannon, doesn't that mean that everyone in the Star Luo Imperial Palace is dead except for Dai Tianfeng? Zhu Zhuqing asked. I don't think so. They're very far away from the explosion. If their soul power isn't low, some of them should be able to survive. It doesn't matter if the Imperial Palace is blown up. It doesn't matter if people die. However, the members of the Star Luo Imperial family, especially the princes, can't all die. Otherwise, the Star Luo Imperial family will go crazy without a successor. I want the Star Luo Imperial family to be extremely wary. At the same time, I want to weaken the Xianra Empire's strength and prestige. I don't want them to go crazy. That's why I held back. Otherwise, I wouldn't have just used one Class 9 soul cannon. I would have used 3. When that happens, even Dai Tianfeng, a titled Douluo, would have been killed by 3 Class 9 soul cannons. Lu Yuan said softly. Indeed, you're a bad guy. You've almost wiped out the entire Star Luo Imperial family, but you've left a few survivors. You've made them hate you to the core, but they're still afraid of you. Dai Tianfeng was unlucky to have met you. Zhu Zhuqing chuckled as she spoke. Hearing this, Lu Yuan faintly grinned and declined to comment. Crash. Following a series of noises, a figure crawled out from the ruins. It was precisely Dai Tianfeng. At this moment, Dai Tianfeng was in a very sorry state. The crown on his head had long since fallen off, and his long hair was in a mess. A small part of his royal robe was torn, revealing his bare arms. There was a faint trace of blood at the corner of his mouth. Even though he had reacted quickly to the terrifying explosion, he had still suffered serious injuries. Lu Yuan, I want you dead. Dai Tianfeng's eyes were bloodshot. When had he ever suffered such a huge loss? Even the Star Luo Imperial Palace had been blown up, and he himself had fallen into such a sorry state. Furthermore, such a terrifying explosion had definitely killed many of his concubines. This made Dai Tianfeng's heart burn with rage. He was a person who liked to think before doing things. However, first Lin Yuanjin died, then the White Tiger Core was destroyed. Now, even the palace was blown up. These successive blows had made him completely lose his mind. The white tiger projection on his body lit up. His entire body flashed, and he was already in midair. He roared into the sky. The majestic roar of the king of beasts could be heard. Not far away, a tiger roar that was even more domineering and majestic than Dai Tianfeng's roar could be heard. Their roars resonated with each other. You know you can't beat them, so you called for help? It should be the previous white tiger Douluo. After hearing the tiger roar, Lu Yuan smiled faintly. It's just two titled Douluo. Hall Master, you don't have to do anything. We can easily take care of them. Xianzi was a little unconcerned. Indeed. Even Dai Tianfeng's father, Dai Tianlin, is nothing. He's only rank 96. In terms of fighting strength, he's far inferior to the sword Douluo of the same rank. However, don't forget that the Star Luo Imperial family has the Netherworld White Tiger Martial Soul Fusion skill. After fusion, it should be quite powerful. The previous Star Luo Empress should have come with Dai Tianlin. This means that they can unleash the Netherworld White Tiger. With Dai Tianlin's rank 96 soul power, his attacking strength should reach rank 98 after unleashing the Netherworld White Tiger. Lu Yuan said softly, "Leave Dai Tianlin's Netherworld White Tiger to me. As for Dai Tianfeng's Netherworld White Tiger, leave it to Xianzi." Long Xiaoyao said plainly, "All right, I'll leave it to the two of you. I also want to play with Dai Tianfeng, the Star Luo Emperor. Beating him up should be quite interesting. It's a pity that I'm hugging a little kitten, and can't free my hands." Lu Yuan sighed softly. "So you think I'm a hindrance?" Zhu Zhuqing's beautiful eyes stared at Lu Yuan. Her red lips parted slightly, and there was a hidden coldness in her voice. "Why would I? Don't think too much. How can fighting be as comfortable as hugging you?" Lu Yuan laughed as he hugged Zhu Zhuqing's waist tightly. "I don't believe you, stinky man." Zhu Zhuqing glanced at Lu Yuan before shifting her gaze elsewhere. Seeing this, Lu Yuan couldn't help but smile. "This kitten is a little interesting. Master, I'll take my leave first." Seeing that Dai Tianlin was approaching from afar, Long Xiaoyao's figure moved as he went forward. "Then I'm going to start too." Xianzi finished the chicken drumstick in his hand and drank a mouthful of wine. His figure moved as he charged towards Dai Tianfeng. The following battle was needless to say. Even though Dai Tianlin had a martial soul fusion skill, he could only clash head-on with a rank 98 pinnacle Douluo. Defeat was his only outcome when he met Long Xiaoyao. The 20-meter-long Netherworld White Tiger was pinned to the ground by Long Xiaoyao from head to toe. The terror of an ultimate Douluo was revealed once again. Xianzi's side was the same. The Taotai Douluo lived up to his name. Facing Dai Tianfeng and the Star Luo Empress Netherworld White Tiger, Xianzi still suppressed them from head to toe. After all, Dai Tianfeng was only rank 94, while the Star Luo Empress was only rank 80. Even if they used a martial soul fusion skill, it was still impossible for them to fight Xianzi, who was a rank 98 pinnacle Douluo. Very soon, the two Netherworld White Tigers were destroyed. "Master, how should we deal with them next?" Long Xiaoyao asked Lu Yuan as he lifted Dai Tianlin. "Kill Dai Tianlin on the spot. As for Dai Tianfeng, just cripple his soul power. Spare his worthless life." Lu Yuan said casually. "Yes, master." After obtaining Lu Yuan's permission, Long Xiaoyao smashed Dai Tianlin into a bloody mist with a single slap before retrieving his soul bone. Chapter 791. Xianzi slapped Dai Tianfeng's dantian. Dai Tianfeng's soul power was completely crippled by Xianzi's domineering palm. Xianzi casually flung the Star Luo Emperor into the rubble. "Master, what should we do with these two old ladies?" Xianzi asked as he pointed at the two empresses. "They're both from the Netherworld family. We'll spare them this time on account of Zhuqing. They don't have to bother with us. We've completed our mission this time. We can leave now." It's a pity that the Star Luo treasury was destroyed by the Class 9 Soul Cannon. Otherwise, we could have taken some things back, Lu Yuan said in a regretful tone. Zhu Zhuqing pursed her lips in Lu Yuan's arms when she heard this. The Star Luo royal palace was bombed to such a state. One of the Star Luo emperors was killed, and the other was crippled. Now, they're still eyeing the Star Luo royal palace's treasury? Lu Yuan, can you be more humane? Lu Yuan naturally didn't know what Zhu Zhuqing was thinking. At this moment, his body was shining with golden light. He flapped his dragon wings and was ready to leave. Master, wait. I have a few soul bones here. I took them from Dai Tianlin. Long Xiaoyao passed the soul bones that Dai Tianlin had exploded out of his body to Lu Yuan. TSK, full of soul bones? Lu Yuan clicked his tongue as he looked at the 6 soul bones in his hands. However, he wasn't too surprised. After all, Dai Tianlin was a rank 96 transcendent Douluo. He was also the previous Star Luo Emperor. It was normal for him to have a full set of soul bones. These 6 soul bones were all 10,000-year soul bones. After all, he was the previous emperor. Soul bones below 10,000 years were probably nothing to him. He even had 2 soul bones above 50,000 years. One was his right arm bone and the other was his torso bone. A torso bone above 50,000 years. This item's quality isn't bad. Furthermore, it's probably 70,000 years old. Zhu Qing, this item belongs to you, Lu Yuan said softly. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing could not help but reveal a trace of a smile. Let's go. I'll give it to you when we get back. Lu Yuan hugged Zhu Zhuqing and soared into the sky. Long Xiaoyao and the rest hurriedly followed behind him, and the group of them left the Star Luo Imperial Palace. What? Dai Tianlin was killed, Dai Tianfeng was crippled, and the entire Star Luo Imperial Palace was reduced to ruins? Hearing Lu Yuan's calm words, Zhu Junlin's face couldn't help but be filled with shock. What's so surprising about that? Lu Yuan said faintly with an indifferent expression, as if what he had done was just a trivial matter to him. Hearing this, Zhu Junlin was speechless. If this was not surprising, what else was there to be surprised about? Lu Yuan shifted his gaze to Zhu Junlin. Now that the Star Luo royal family has been crippled by me, they won't have the guts to cause trouble for you anymore. You can change the ancestral law of the Netherworld family. Lu Yuan's gaze was filled with pressure, causing Zhu Junlin's breathing to quicken. Cold sweat appeared between his brows. Yes. Since Hall Master Lu has given the order, the Netherworld family will abolish this rule from now on, Zhu Junlin hurriedly said. Very good. Remember what you said today. If you dare to go back on your words in the future, you'll learn from Dai Tianlin and Dai Tianfeng's mistake. Lu Yuan's words were filled with coldness. Yes, we won't go back on our words. We'll definitely abolish this ancestral law, Zhu Junlin said. That's good. Lu Yuan nodded and asked, how's the reorganization of the army of over 200,000 coming along? There are already some results from the reorganization. After a few more days of practice, we can start using them, Zhu Junlin said. Not bad. After the army of over 200,000 has been reorganized, you can leave behind 100,000 men to guard Sinuous City. As for the rest, sect leader Fu can bring them to Sky Sound City. Lu Yuan said. Thank you, Hall Master Lu. Hearing Lu Yuan's words, Zhu Junlin could not help but reveal a smile on his face. An army of 100,000 soldiers was not a small force. Don't thank me. This is what you deserve. I've always been fair in my rewards and punishments. Since you've contributed, you'll naturally be rewarded. Moreover, the Star Luo Imperial family has suffered a major change. Since Dai Tianfeng has been abolished, he will soon abdicate. After all, the Star Luo Imperial family doesn't raise a useless person. According to your estimation, which prince do you think will ascend to the throne? Lu Yuan looked at Zhu Junlin and asked faintly. It should be the seventh prince, Dai Zhongming. Among the remaining princes, he's the only one with decent ability and talent. Although he's a bit timid, he's still much stronger than the other princes. Zhu Junlin said. Dai Zhongming? Lu Yuan muttered softly as his eyes flickered slightly. After pondering for a moment, Lu Yuan said softly, "The Star Luo imperial family has lost 2 generations of the Netherworld White Tigers. Without the deterrence of the White Tiger Corps, the imperial family's status has been severely impacted. As long as we do well, we might be able to take advantage of this opportunity to oust the Dai family from the throne. Do you have any thoughts of becoming the emperor? If you do, then I can help you." Lu Yuan looked at Zhu Junlin. Hearing that, Zhu Junlin was delighted. After thinking for a moment, he shook his head in the end and said, "Forget it. The Star Luo imperial family still controls the military power of a few million men. It's still very difficult to overthrow them. Moreover, I don't have such a big ambition. Since you don't want to, then forget it. However, I don't believe that the Xingguan family doesn't have such thoughts. Now that the imperial family's strength has been greatly reduced, they should be preparing to cause trouble. We can support them and let them fight with the Star Luo imperial family to deplete their strength. This way, they won't have the energy to find trouble with us." Lu Yuan stroked his chin and said softly. In fact, there was something he didn't say out loud. Let the Star Luo imperial family have internal strife and deplete their strength. In the future, it would be easier for the Martial Soul Palace to destroy the Xianra Empire. As for whether the Xingguan family wanted to usurp the throne, Lu Yuan didn't care at all. He didn't forget that the Xianra Empire in Do Air Middle School wasn't surnamed Dai. It was surnamed Su. I plan to build a branch of the Dragon King Hall in Heavenly Sound City. The Taotai Douluo will stay behind to guard it. He's a rank 98 pinnacle Douluo. He's invincible in the Xianra Empire. Heavenly Sound City isn't far from Sunua City. Since we're already in-laws, you can ask the Taotai Douluo for help if you need anything in the future. Correspondingly, I hope that you can help the Dragon King Hall develop further in the Xianra Empire. What do you think? Lu Yuan looked at Zhu Junlin and asked. I'll do my best to help. Zhu Junlin immediately agreed. The Dragon King Hall's branch was in Heavenly Sound City, and the Taotai Douluo was guarding it. This was great news for him and the Zhu family. He naturally had no reason to reject it. After hearing this, Lu Yuan smiled faintly. With the help of the local Guqin sect and the Nether family, one of the 3 great families of the Star Luo Empire, and the Star Luo Imperial family, the Dragon King Hall's power could develop rapidly in the Xianra Empire. This would be very useful for the Dragon King Hall's unification in the future. It was time to overthrow the Star Luo Empire. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.